Hey guys, 6 people, please hit the like button. I'd appreciate it very much. Tia, how are you? Miss Can't Be Wrong, Sally. Nick Valente, what's up, brother? See what kind of day it is. I don't know what kind of crowd we'll get. We'll find out. Victor Falls, what's going on? I'm going to do a different type of show today. Yeah, I know. Never ends. I hate the beginnings of these shows, how fucking long it takes to get people in here. They are told from birth to hate Democrats and liberals. They are told in their churches all over the South every single Sunday. Supreme meditated smear campaign brainwashing. Ryan Stevenson, I like regular people, not the brainwashed from either side. Understood. I'm actually going to try to learn from people today, guys, because I am curious, because there's things I'm noticing about people. And last night I was really doing a lot of thinking, trying to figure out what's going on here. There's something wrong. I'll get more in depth into that in a little while, but I do have a big fucking problem with liberals that I'm going to talk about, but I'm curious to find out what, all you guys are irritated the most by about them, Sally. Yeah. Ronan 456. What's up, brother? I wasn't brainwashed, just didn't do the fact checking like I should have, and that's my fault. No. Yeah, no, understood. But I mean, I think he meant, even liberals to an extent, the ones that may be brainwashed. I regret my part in this administration. So you regret voting? Wow. For Trump, I mean. That's I'm glad to hear you say that, Joshua. I'm surprised. Not many people will admit that. But I'm starting to think maybe I don't know, man. I'm starting to question what I always believed about certain things. And I just want to do this like a little experiment. I want to try to learn from all you guys, even the people who say shit I don't like. I'm just curious today. Yeah, no doubt. Unknown Trader, what's going on? Hi, inbred piece of shit, pedo cannibal. God damn. I'm all those things, Arthur? Holy shit. Why you got to be so mean on a Sunday? It's the Lord's Day, don't you know? How many times did you vote for Trump, Joshua? Well, let's see. I'm assuming probably 3, but if he's seen the light, that's a good thing. What do you mean, such as Chris, Sally? Leftists hate liberals too. You guys build the path for fascism. Who builds the path for fascism? I'm not a liberal by any stretch of the imagination. I've been saying that on here for months. People don't really believe me. Just because I don't like Donald Trump doesn't mean I'm a liberal. I am not. Most liberal things I don't agree with. I'm much more closer to being a liberal than a conservative, but I'm not a liberal. And yes, I kind of agree, Leo TV. I think that a lot of leftists do hate liberals too. You were trying to learn what Chris is, what I mean. Oh, yeah. Sally is black. No, she's not. IFBS, how much MAGA idiocy have I missed? Not much yet. Well, I'm not a big fan of liberals or Republicans. Personally, libs, I am not a fan of how they go about protests. Heart's in the right place, but they go a little too aggressive with it sometimes. Definitely, Xanatos, yeah. And I'm going to try to have a different type of conversation today, seriously, where maybe, who knows, we might even find some common ground on stuff. Because I'm going to tell you in a little while what I found out about liberals just since I started doing these live streams. And it does piss me off greatly. It does. I'm very shocked by what I see sometimes. as far as things that take place with this show, and it starts to make me wonder, who are the real assholes, You made a promote of why I hate liberals, so I assumed you were one based on that. My bad. Oh no, because I have my issues with them too. The thing is though, I generally fight on their side, but I'm concerned about, or I am curious about what irritates you guys about them the most, because I might even agree with you. I don't know. I've already said everything I have to say about MAGA. We all know how I feel about MAGA, but I'm curious about liberals because I'm seeing something that's just very strange. All right, I'll just get into it. I'll tell you what it is. So I I've always said liberals are pussies. Okay, not just in the sense you think, like they can't fight or they don't have guns, or they're beta males. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the fact that they always bow down, at least the politicians, to the right. I'm to the point where I honestly believe just about 100% that they are paid just to back down and give the Republicans whatever they want. But another thing I noticed, with whether you consider the politicians or the voters, there is zero loyalty on the left. There is none. There is none. On the right, don't get me wrong, it's blind loyalty, which isn't good, but they are loyal as a mother. I got to watch my language, because I think my language is pissing liberals off, and boy, would I hate to do that. So, yeah, I think that's the major problem, is that Republicans, even when it's wrong, they have each other's backs no matter what. No matter what, the voters and the politicians. And like I said, I'm not saying that's a great thing, but it is more admirable than people that will just constantly throw each other under the bus and refuse to even show support for each other. I don't respect that. I don't. So that's why they piss me off sometimes. Also, little things I notice, like I could come on here, right? And I could fucking fight against Donald Trump. I could annihilate people in debates. I could do everything you would think the left would want me to do as somebody who's fighting for their side. And I can't even get them to hit the like button. I can't even get them to do that. Last night, I saw a guy who, I don't want to use the R word, okay, but this guy's one of the dumbest people I've ever seen in my life. And he's a MAGA guy. And this guy had 200 and something people watching, but over time, he had gained about 400 likes. And I said, that's amazing, because I've had 1,500 people in my chat. I've gotten shows that got 107,000 views, and I can't get more than maybe 200. And that's on a really, really good stream. So it does make me think, are liberals so goddamn uptight that even foul language, which I do use, that's who I am, bothers them? Because that's the only thing I can come up with, to the point where, you have to be perfect. You have to be a perfect liberal almost for liberals to accept you and support you. And that is bullshit. Do you know, of course, these shows run on donations, right? We get super chats, sometimes cash apps if we put that in the chat, whatever. Do you know that probably 85% of all donations to this show have come from MAGA people? How do you figure that even being possible when you got 400 or 500 liberals in the chat? So last night I was thinking about it after I saw this guy, and I'm like, this guy's an idiot. I mean, he doesn't even know what he's talking about, but he's speaking in favor of Trump. And because of that, they're throwing him super chats. They're hitting the like button. They're subscribing. It's like, you can't get that from the left unless you're doing exactly what they want you to do. And I can't do that. I can't, because I'm just a real person. I'm not somebody who beats around the bush. I'm not somebody who, well, fuck that, actually. I'm just not somebody who will toe the line, so to speak. I don't go along with everything liberal. And I think that's the problem with liberals, is if you don't follow their rules to a T, they don't accept you. And then believe me, I don't care about being accepted by anyone. I'm just simply saying this is what I do for a living. And what I'm seeing here as this sort of experiment I've been doing with these shows is that they're two total opposites. And yeah, it does irritate you sometimes. Liberals can get under your fucking skin. So I'm curious as to, some of the reasons you guys hate them, because I'm starting to question myself here. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm starting to question myself as to whether or not I've been wrong this whole time. Seriously. The Republicans have been working on bringing a fascist regimes. Yes. It fits their now narrative. If you disagree, you're labeled a leftist, liberal, terrorist. That's only because you disagree with what your leader has to say. I agree with you on that. Bro, please tell me you saw Alex Jones on Fresh and Fit last night. No, I don't watch that shit. I can't stand those guys. Liberals want to change the status quo and want everyone to conform to their ideals. Conservatives just want to be left alone, with one exception. I'd have to think about that to tell you if I agree with that or not, because conservatives, I mean, no matter how you slice it, and I'm not being a jerk off. I'm not here to attack Trump supporters today. I'm trying to do something different here. But conservatives, I mean, they do constantly bitch about anybody who's not exactly like them. So I think that might be on both sides. I mean, that is true. If you're trans, they hate you. If you're gay, they hate you. If you're not lily white, they hate you. So, but liberals, the same thing. If you don't believe there's 100 genders, and if you don't believe that, all the crazy shit I'm not going to get into, then somehow you're not good enough for them. Blows my mind. This guy never had a problem with liberals when genocide, Joe. It's so dumb. How do you commit genocide, you dipshit? How do you know? Were you watching me? What do you know about when Biden was in office? How are you just going to tell me shit about myself? If you're hard left or hard right, you're indoctrinated. Yeah, you might be right. I think some of it has to do with the wokeness they push. Yeah, me too. You're a pedo defender warrior, even though I fight against the pedos on the right, which is where the pedos are. All right. Liberals have killed conservatives and demonize them for different opinions. Wow. But see, this is what I'm saying. I want to have the conversation, but I'm not just going to agree with everything. I mean, again, big guy, that is, you're telling me conservatives having killed liberals? Look at what we've been seeing. I mean, if that's what you mean, if you mean actually literally killed, I mean, the majority of the political violence in this country is right-wing violence. That's just true. You can get mad at me, but it is. But yes, they demonize them for different opinions. Yes, I agree. Liberals are easy to distract. They all forget about Israel the second they are allowed to riot about immigration. Well, nobody's rioting about immigration. I will say that, big guy. What you guys call riots, I'm going to tell you exactly what happened in LA, what happened in Portland, what's happening in Minneapolis. Nobody's rioting. They're simply protesting. And then Trump sends the National Guard or ICE into that city and turns it into a riot because he wants to be able to say, look at the left, look how violent they are. They're rioting. Meanwhile, nobody was rioting until you started a riot. That's just true. I watched it go down in LA, everybody was fine. And then the National Guard came in and of course tensions rose and it just got bad, so it's not, I know you think, well, maybe you're right. I don't know. I don't think the left is looking for a reason to riot. I think there's certain people that are, but not most of them. They stood in line with KKK members and voted with them. When was that, JT Dalton? Because if you're talking about decades, no, liberals never did. Let me explain, JT Dalton. They never did. If you're talking about Democrats, when Democrats had anything to do with the KKK, they were conservatives. The Republicans were the liberals. That's a fact. That's what the whole party switch is about. They all switch sides. So now the Democrats are the liberals and the Republicans are the conservatives, but it used to be the opposite. Donald Trump and Fox propaganda have created an army of useful idiots, affectionately known as MAGA, to spread hate and lies throughout the internet. That is true. I don't like liberals because most are basically centrist Dems that don't want actual effective change. They speak on platitudes and hope and change, but never actually achieved palpable results. Well, I know what you're saying to an extent, Leo TV, but I have to say, I mean, it depends on whether or not you're informed about the stuff, because I could tell you for a fact that Joe Biden was an extremely effective president. You don't want to believe it? That's fine. But a lot of the stuff he did was very, very good for Americans. Very good for Americans. Same with Obama, you know. So I think what it is that it's the exact opposite. The liberals want change and progress, and the conservatives want to stay back in the 1950s. You are talking about people that still think women shouldn't have the right to vote. You know, the right are obsessed with wokeness. They are more so than the left. Isn't that some shit? You morons think men can be women. No, that's the thing, Flam. That's what they tell you on Fox News. Nobody thinks that. I don't think that. I mean, there might be some people who do, and that's another reason I say I'm not a liberal. I don't think that. You libs get pissed off at me, whatever you want, but my opinion, whatever you're born as, that's what you are. Period. There's no changing that. It's just my opinion, guys. So no, liberals, you might be right. If you're considering me a liberal, you'd be wrong in that. But yeah, to an extent, yeah. Xanatos Gambit, $50. Damn, brother. Thank you, man. Southern Democrats, Dixiecrats, Wallace voters, the conservative realignment, populists, progressive, socialists, all split from Dems, got absorbed by Republicans and faded. Just another group rejecting Democrats. MAGA is just another one. You are correct, without a doubt. Without a doubt. And thank you very, very much for that very generous donation, Xanatos. I appreciate you, brother. I don't like liberals because, that's the one I read. I'm sorry. Let me get back on track here. AOC is solid as a fucking rock. Bernie is more admirable than any GOP candidate ever. I do agree with that. Except, AOC, to run her for president is going to be a massive mistake, because if there's one thing this country has proven, it's that they're not electing a woman. This country elected a black man twice. America did. Okay. But they won't. I mean, they were two women who were way more qualified than the guy they were running against, lost against the worst presidential candidate in American history. So if Democrats pick AOC to run for president, I think I'm done, honestly, because you can't, they're not learning. They're not learning. I mean, Democrats that's their fucking problem, is they don't learn from their mistakes. They really don't. I mean, it's just the same shit over and over and over. If they would have ran Bernie in 2016, he would have won, period. I honestly think if Biden would have ran again in 2024, he would have won. For real. The problem with Trump supporters is that they have weaponized cognitive dissonance to their detriment. For sure. Liberals are toxic. I mean, you'd have to be more specific, or maybe they are, but wouldn't you say the other side is too? You don't win debates, you just call people pedos and Nazis the loudest. That's bullshit. When I'm debating people on the phone, I'm not calling them anything unless they're calling me names. I've never lost a debate. You can call in right now and I'll crush you in a debate. I mean, you guys could say that all you want, but nobody's ever even come close to beating me in a debate on here. You simply can't. I know too much about this stuff. And if you're MAGA, you don't know much. That's period. Sorry, guys, but I'm willing to criticize liberals on here today too. But bottom line is MAGA, they are the least informed voters in the entire country. They are. Coming from me, what's crazy, Arthur? Damn, I'm so far behind. Holy shit, my bad, guys. You don't know anything about what don't I know anything about? What don't I know anything about? Trump is doing better than any president in the past decade. Well, I mean, in the past decade. Okay, so you'd be talking about the very, very end of Obama's term, Trump's term, and then Biden's 4 years. You sure you want to go with a decade? Because that's not saying a lot. And he's not. He's not. Biden did so much with the legislation he passed and everything else. I know you guys don't believe it, but the American Rescue Plan, the Inflation Reduction Act, the CHIPS and Science Act, the PACT Act, the Bipartisan Infrastructure Bill, all that stuff. You guys don't know it, apparently, but that helped you greatly. It helped all of us. The fucking American Rescue Plan gave you all stimulus checks. I know everybody loved. You know, the Inflation Reduction Act created like 750,000 manufacturing jobs. The PACT Act increased funding to the VA. You know, I mean, these are good things. You're not even black. He's mixed. Obama is mixed, and you are a social idiot. Yeah, he's black. I got some news for you guys. If you're black and something else, you're black. It's the dominant gene. That's the way it works. That's why, you know, if somebody fills out an application for something and it says, you know, like I had a friend who was filling out an application for something, and I won't get into what it was, but they told her, because her child was black and white. Okay, she was white, father was black, and she said, which should I fill in? And the person told him, fill in black. Okay, you always fill in black. All right. Now there's other reasons for that too, but if somebody's half black and half white, they are black. Okay, you could also say they're white, but there's no point in saying they're mixed. Obama's black. When you say Obama's not black, you sound like a fucking moron. I mean, you have to know that. No, well, but bro, we're smarter than you guys. Quinn, we are. I mean, you want to call in today and try it? I mean, everybody's seen it. You guys will just say I lost because you just say things that make no sense at all the time. That's what MAGA does. But I've never lost a debate, and I never will. Biden was a dribbling dementia patient, and Kamala is just plain stupid. She makes AOC look smart. All right, so this is the problem here. I'm trying to have a conversation about liberals. I'm actually trying to get along with MAGA today. Okay, just because I'm trying to learn some things myself about liberals, and they got to do this shit. That's all they know. That's the problem. That's why everybody hates you, MAGA, way more than people hate liberals. So Biden, you saw a few clips of Biden where he could barely speak, stuff like that. You saw the debate. You base everything on that. Now, I could show you the 2024 State of the Union address where Joe Biden gave one of the greatest speeches ever for an hour straight without fucking up once. Kamala is a Howard University graduate who, now listen, Jamie, I don't know what you do for a living, but listen closely. She graduated from Howard University. She became a prosecutor, then a district attorney. That was elected, an elected position, by the way. So was attorney general, so was U.S. senator, and then vice president. So what do you do for a living that you can call Kamala stupid? And by the way, AOC is smart. You guys you're too dumb to realize it. She's like the youngest congresswoman in the history of America. Why do you think that is? Because she's an idiot? No. And Kamala is 1,000 light years smarter than Trump. I could show you her demolishing Trump in the debate. I could put it up right now. Kamala is 1,000 light years smarter than Trump. She's got to be an intelligent woman. I mean, think about what you're saying. And this is not even the conversation I want to have, but this just goes to prove that even if I'm trying to somewhat relate to you guys and get your ideas about things that we might even agree with, it's the same talking points over and over and over. Biden couldn't speak. AOC's stupid. Meanwhile, this is Trump, guys. This is Trump. While you're talking about how stupid AOC is and how demented Trump is, we're going to watch a few things. Guys, hit like and subscribe. And if you can, do the classy thing. Show MAGA they're not the only ones that could donate, because somehow over the past few months, 85% of my donations have come from MAGA, people who hate me. And that doesn't say a lot about the left. If you could donate in some way, like super chat, that would be fantastic. Now watch. Think about this.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, about this.
But you got to the
videos don't want to play in the first try.
But you got to
the yeah. Here's Trump.
The president of Venezuela called the strike on the boat illegal. Are you concerned that Maduro might escalate something?
No, what's illegal are the drugs that were on the boat and the drugs that are being sent into our country, and the fact that 300 million people died last year from drugs. That's what's illegal.
Okay, that's your president who's very smart, right? Now, first of all, there is no proof to this day that those boats had drugs on them. To this day, they have not provided one bit of proof. They just speculate, and you guys go along with it. Also, fentanyl doesn't come from Venezuela like that. Those boats couldn't have made it here. That's the first thing. Okay, they couldn't have even made it here. They're fishing boats, basically. Okay. And 1% of the fentanyl that comes into this country comes from Venezuela. 1%. But here's the biggest thing. He just said 300 million people. Now, you want to talk about how demented Biden is and Kamala is so stupid. He just said 300 million people died last year. Now, he's talking about America. Now, he said this in 2025. He said last year. So he's talking about 2024. Okay. In 2024, worldwide, the entire world of all causes, 62 million people died. And he just said that 300 million people died in a country of 340 million people. So Trump thinks there's only 40 million people left in this country. Here's another one.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
Now that's how smart Kamala is. She baited him. She triggered him by just saying he doesn't get that many people at his rallies. And that's what happened to him in the debate. That's why he got mollywopped in that debate, because he turned into a lunatic. It's so easy to trigger him. You could bait him with the slightest insult. And by the way, that whole thing he told you and Fox News told you that the Haitians are eating cats and dogs in Springfield, Ohio. The day Trump got elected, you never heard about that again. Not when he took office. As soon as he got elected, you never heard another word about it again, because it was never true. They were just fear-mongering you into voting against your own best interests again. They were. The lady that made up that rumor even came out and said, I made it up. It was just a Facebook joke. I didn't expect it to be taken seriously about them eating dogs and cats. I could go on forever, guys. I mean, there's so much shit. Trump is. Listen to this. Listen to Trump's answer to this question that he has asked, clear as day, in a completely silent room. Listen to his answer.
Okay, please, in the back.
Dana Marie McNichol, Fox News Channel. Mr. President, is there an expected time frame that detainees will spend here, days, weeks, months? And does that have anything to do with the immigration judges you just spoke about being trained and staffed here?
When you say, what was the first part of your question?
Is there a specific time frame you expect the detainees to spend here? Days, weeks, months?
In Florida?
Yes, here at Alligator Alcatraz.
I'm going to spend a lot. Look, this is my home state. I love it. I love your government. I love all the people around. These are all friends of mine. They know them very well. I mean, I'm not surprised that they do so well. They're great people. Ron has been a friend of mine for a long time. I feel very comfortable in the state. I'll spend a lot of time here. I want to, for 4 years, I've got to be in Washington, and I'm okay with it because I love the White House. I even fix up the little Oval Office. I make it, it's like a diamond. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. It wasn't maintained properly, I will tell you that. But even when it wasn't, it was still the Oval Office, so it meant a lot. But I'll spend as much time as I can here. You know, my vacation is generally here because it's convenient. I live in Palm Beach. It's my home. And I have a very nice little place, nice little cottage to stay at, right? But we have a lot of fun, and I'm a big contributor to Florida, pay a lot of tax. And a lot of people move from New York, and I don't know what New York is going to do. A lot of people moved to Florida from New York, and it was for a lot of reasons, but one of them was taxes. The taxes are so high in New York, they're leaving. I don't know what New York's going to do about that, because some of the biggest, wealthiest people and some of the people that pay the most taxes of any people anywhere in the world, for that matter, they're moving to Florida and other places. So we're going to have to help some of these states out, I think. But thank you very much. I'll be here as much as I can.
Yeah. The question was, how long are the detainees going to be held in Florida? Now, watch how they change the argument. Watch this. Nope, I live in Ohio. They are prosecuting a guy right now for eating geese, you dumb fuck. Okay, so geese, not cats and dogs. You don't even realize you prove yourself wrong in your very statement. And but by the way, I don't know that that's true, and I don't know who the guy is. Is he a Haitian migrant? Who is he? It could be a white dude that lives next door to you. I don't fucking know. I don't even know if that's true because everything you guys say is wrong. So I'm very leery to believe you about anything. But somebody else said. And by the way, again, geese, not cats and dogs specifically, which is literally what I said. It's what Trump said, cats and dogs. Nobody mentioned geese. They were talking about cats and dogs. Now, another guy said, I don't know where the comment went, but clearly he said something like, clearly you don't know anything about these countries because they fucking do. That's what they do. They change the argument entirely. So the argument is Donald Trump was telling you guys that Haitian migrants in Springfield, Ohio, were eating cats and dogs. They weren't telling you in other countries. They were telling you it was happening in Springfield, Ohio. They lied to you until Trump got elected. You never heard a word about it again. It was never happening. It never happened. Are you fucking serious? You think they were running around stealing people's cats and dogs and eating them, you lunatics? People that are in this country legally but could easily be deported in a fucking heartbeat if they do something like that. I mean, what are you talking about? The woman who started the rumor admitted it. It was just some woman, some white trash lady started the rumor on Facebook. She admitted, she was like, nobody ever took my cat, or I was just joking. I never expected it to be taken seriously. I mean, so you change the argument. Geese, the other countries. Nobody was talking about other countries. They were talking about Springfield, Ohio, right here in the U.S. Well, I mean, that's an argument that could be had, but listen, if you're a Trump supporter and you say anybody sucks, you sound ridiculous. Trump was asked maybe 6 or 7 months ago in an Oval Office interview. What is he said, the interviewer said, I see you got the Declaration of Independence on the wall here. What does the Declaration of Independence mean to you? Donald Trump had no idea what the Declaration of Independence was. No fucking idea. His advisors in his first term were saying that they would sit him down in meetings and try to explain the Constitution to him, and he would just fall asleep. The guy is the least knowledgeable president. He still doesn't know what a tariff is. President Trump does not know what a tariff is. He's still telling you to this day that other countries pay the tariffs. Now, you could say he's lying, but that's your only other option. He's either lying through his teeth because he does know what they are, or he doesn't know what they are. And he's the president of the United States who doesn't know what a tariff is. That's your two options because he keeps saying it. He's also said, I don't know how many times, if you don't think his brain is mush, he finally stopped. I guess his advisors got a hold of him and said, listen, you can't keep saying this because it's mathematically impossible. He's been saying for a year now. He just stopped recently that he's going to lower your prescription drug prices by 1,500%. So in other words, whatever your drugs cost, the company who's selling you those drugs are now going to pay you 15 times that amount to take their drugs. This is what Donald Trump says, and you guys call Kamala, Biden, and AOC stupid. If you put Trump in a debate against Kamala or AOC, we already saw what Kamala did to him. AOC would annihilate him too. Trump is not a smart guy. He's not. He by anybody's standards, he's a dummy. Linguists have studied his speech. He speaks on a third grade level. He's always capitalizing random letters and missing punctuation when he writes. I mean, he's as dumb as they come. The guy, it was already made clear. I mean, it's common knowledge that Donald Trump's grades were paid for. He didn't do anything in college. You give a college enough money, they'll give your kid whatever grades you want them to. His fucking professor said he was the dumbest kid in the whole school. So he's not a smart guy. I know you guys think he is, but when you guys listen, if you want to just say, I don't like AOC, AOC sucks, something like that. I don't like Kamala, Kamala sucks. Fine. But when you're a Trump supporter and you say that anyone else is stupid, you are making complete and total fools out of yourselves. Donald Trump doesn't know the first thing to this day about politics. It's amazing. It's almost like he's incapable of learning. He doesn't know anything. It's hilarious to hear him speak. For a year, he said with a straight face, I'm going to lower your prescription drug cost by 300, 500, 800, 1200, 1500%. He was never joking, not one of those times. And let's not forget, he is the guy that suggested washing your lungs out with disinfectant like Lysol to get rid of COVID. Okay, so please. To an extent, yeah, so far, right? But so is Trump. I mean, have you guys missed it? Is Fox News not showing you? Look up how many times Trump has fallen asleep on camera in the last 3 months. He's falling asleep. He fell asleep for 40 minutes at a cabinet meeting while RFK and Marco Rubio spoke. He's been falling asleep constantly. He was at an event in Asia, and the fucking lady, I don't know who she was, she's had to walk him around like by his sleeve because he kept getting lost walking around this ballroom. He didn't know where he was going. I mean, he fell up the stairs to Air Force One the other day. I know you guys always like to talk about Biden doing that. He did it the other day. I mean, he's falling apart. He's got the marks on his hands. There's obviously, it's either an injection site or it's a place where they do a lot of blood draws. Either way, not good. He's got cankles this big, which means he has congestive heart failure. He quite obviously, and even a zillion doctors came out and said this, there's no question he had a stroke over the summer. He disappeared for 9 days or something? And when he came back, every time he falls asleep now, his mouth is hanging off the side of his face. And the guy is as incoherent as possible. Guys, I'm going to play you one more thing. And maybe we could get back to the actual conversation because I'm trying to learn from you guys a little bit today. And there's not much I can learn from you. I just mean I'm trying to learn what it is that you hate about liberals the most. But I'm going to play you this. And if you guys could, I know it's hard. The left, it's unbelievable. I can't even get you to hit the fucking like button. But if you could hit the like button and subscribe, that would be wonderful. And maybe since you're watching the show and you're enjoying it, maybe you can contribute monetarily through a super chat or something. That would be wonderful. Like my man Xanatos in the chat. It's a good guy right there. All right, now listen to this. And MAGA, I want you to tell me, is he lying or is he demented? Because that's the only two choices. Is he lying or does he have dementia? Listen closely and tell me.
Okay, please, in the back.
Wrong one, my bad. Oh, the wrong one. Where the fuck is it? Guess this is going to take me a minute, huh? Where did this go? Jesus, I don't know. I can't. Oh, here it is.
Although my uncle was at MIT, one of the great professors, 51 years, whatever. He was the longest serving professor in the history of MIT, 3 degrees in nuclear, chemical, and math. That's a smart man. Kaczynski was one of his students. Do you know who Kaczynski was? There's very little difference between a madman and a genius. But Kaczynski, I said, what kind of a student was he, Uncle John, Dr. John Trump? He said, what kind of a student? And then he said, seriously good. He said he'd go around correcting everybody, but it didn't work out too well for him.
So on Tuesday, the president told a very detailed story about his uncle, noted scientist John Trump, and Theodore Kaczynski, the late Unabomber. He said that Dr. Trump taught Ted Kaczynski. Ted Kaczynski was not identified as the Unabomber until 1996, 11 years after John Trump passed away. It would have been impossible for John Trump to have ever discussed the Unabomber with the president. So what was he talking about? And I have one follow-up.
Andrew, with so many issues going on in the world, I'm a little bit surprised you would ask such a question, although I'm not sometimes coming from you, I will say, but I'm willing to give you an answer. Nevertheless, the president's uncle did, in fact, teach at MIT. He was a very intelligent professor. The president's very proud of his family. In fact, the president has a letter from his uncle on the MIT letterhead that sits in the Oval Office dining room. Maybe we'll let you see it sometime.
Yeah. So she did exactly the opposite of answering a question. So now what the guy pointed out, right? What the guy pointed out is that now Trump said that in this story, you just saw him say it, okay? He said that his uncle, Dr. John Trump, taught at MIT, okay, at MIT. And while he was a professor there, he taught Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber. And Trump and his uncle used to have conversations about what a great student he was. Oh, he would always correct people. He's a seriously good student. He just said it. Now, here's the problem, okay? Now, the guy pointed out that Dr. John Trump died 11 years before Ted Kaczynski was named as the Unabomber. So there's no way they could have had those conversations because you wouldn't even know who Ted Kaczynski. Dr. John Trump, while he was alive, had no idea who the guy was. I mean, in other words, he didn't know he was a Unabomber because he wasn't even the Unabomber yet. But here's the best part. Ted Kaczynski never, not for one day in his life, attended MIT. And Dr. John Trump taught at MIT and only at MIT. And Trump just said he taught him at MIT. Ted Kaczynski never went to MIT, went to Harvard. So is that dementia or is he lying? You tell me. And somebody said I lied in the chat. You know, you're free to tell me what I lied about. We could have the conversation, no doubt. If he did speak on a third grade level, what the fuck is your excuse? Being black isn't enough anymore. What are you saying I'm black? Number one, and number two, what do you mean? What the fuck is your excuse? I don't speak on a third grade level. What the fuck are you talking about? So what was that? Was he lying or is that dementia? It's an impossibility, Matt. Try to spin it any way you want. Ted Kaczynski went to Harvard University. Yes. There's more proof that you have dementia. No, there's not. I personally do not hate liberals, nor am I MAGA. What I do hate is people abusing our system on all sides. Regardless of your position, you should want to strengthen our country for our kids. I agree with you on that. Let me see. You lie when you aren't on chat. What? Just tell me what I've lied about. There's nothing I've lied about. So go ahead and tell me. Lysol? No, I didn't lie about that. They were having a fucking a thing earlier. They were talking about how at this press conference, Lysol can kill COVID on surfaces. And then Donald Trump said, as you guys were saying, detergent, maybe a cleaning the lungs on the inside. I mean,
so supposing we hit the body with a tremendous, whether it's ultraviolet or just very powerful light, and I think you said that hasn't been checked, but you're going to test it. And then I said, supposing you brought the light inside the body, which you can do either through the skin or in some other way. And I think you said you're going to test that too. Sounds interesting. Right, and then I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning? Because you see it gets on the lungs and it does a tremendous number of the lungs. So it'd be interesting to check that. So that you're going to have to use medical doctors with. But it sounds interesting to me. So we'll see. But the whole concept of the light, the way it kills it in 1 minute, that's pretty powerful.
Now, if Joe Biden would have said that, they would have removed him under the 25th Amendment within months. There's no question about it. But people let this shit slide because Trump's a fucking moron and they all know it. So it's like, he's just being Trump again. If Biden would have ever said something as crazy as that, he would have been removed from office. But you guys talk about him slurring his words and him, the debate performance was horrendous. But little clips, Fox News shows you where they manipulate the clip so it looks like Joe Biden's in a daze or he's shaking hands with no one, like no one's there and all. They show you edited clips where they don't show you the whole video. And you guys are like, oh my God, Biden's just straight retarded. And you're wrong. I mean, he's a mess, no question about it. But you cannot compare anybody to this man I just showed you. He is by far the dumbest, most demented individual in the history of American politics. And he's, he doesn't know anything, period. But that goes right along with dumbest. Yes, no doubt, Dennis Nielsen. Most kids are. Back to your cave Jew, man. See, they exposed themselves in their comments. 100% dementia, no doubt. Biden is a Zionist. Trump is a fascist. Not much of a difference there. It's your opinion that Biden's a Zionist, but there's a difference between anything and a fascist. Anything. He's trolling Joe. Yeah, no, he's not. We're saying you're an idiot. Okay. Prove Lysol. Yeah, I just did. Because that's what the conversation was about. They had been speaking earlier that day about Lysol being effective on COVID on surfaces. So that's where he got that from. The detergent, you say it knocks it out in a minute. Well, maybe we could. I mean, come on, man. You could spin that any way you want. That motherfucker suggested injecting disinfectant into your body. He 100% did. There's no question. I don't hate liberals. I just hate that blacks lied to other blacks about a fictional idea of slavery. This is where Democrats come from. Slavery is fictional. It didn't happen. Please elaborate on that, Bobby D. What the fuck? Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. I saw your nose from 3 miles away yesterday. What do you mean? You think I'm Jewish? Is that what I don't even understand. What are you saying? I'm like 100% Italian, right? What the fuck are you talking about? I don't even have a big nose. What is? And he says he saw it from 3 miles away. Really? Really? Yeah. Okay. What the fuck is wrong? You guys have a one-track mind, man. I swear to God. No, I literally hate liberals. They are disgusting. They call people Nazis, racist, fascists, yet they put push fascistic agenda and are literally racist. Well, wrong. I mean, they are not disgusting. Okay, the people that constantly have to bring up Jews and the people that, we're chanting Jews will not replace us, and the people that have been endorsed by the Klan and every white supremacist group in the country, and the people that, fight for these groups and use these groups for things, and the people that condone rape and pedophilia, they're disgusting. Liberals are just obnoxious. Okay, and as far as them calling people Nazis, racists, and fascists, I got news for you. The people they're calling Nazis, racists, and fascists are Nazis, racists, and fascists. I mean, when Elon Musk does the Heil Hitler twice in a row, and he does it the exact same way Hitler did it, for fuck's sake. Now, you dummies are like, oh, he was just saying my heart goes out there. Yeah, right. When he does that and somebody calls him a Nazi, it's because he just did some Nazi shit. Racists, I mean, you guys, your entire ideology is built on the hatred of black people, Mexican people, gay people, and trans people. Okay, so the black people, I mean, there's no question about that. Donald Trump didn't stand a chance until he said Mexicans were rapists, and that was it. You guys were on board. Your whole fucking belief system is about removing brown people from the country. That's all it is. So when people call you guys racist, if you don't want to be called a racist, maybe don't vote for a racist, because all these white supremacy groups support Trump. So you don't even have to say he's racist. The racists say he's racist. Okay, because they wouldn't back him if he wasn't. Everybody knows that, guys. Donald Trump was sued. Now, he lied and said it was all these different organizations. It was the Trump organization, period. Sued by the Nixon Justice Department for refusing to rent buildings to black people. And that was 50 years ago. So as early on in his life as then. He removed, let me ask you something, guys. Is this racist? So there's a list of holidays where it's free to get into national parks. Okay, it's free to get into national parks. All major holidays are on this list, right? Trump removed 2 holidays from this list, only 2, and he replaced them with Trump Day. What are those 2 holidays, guys? Trump is very similar to Hitler. His own wife said he used to keep Mein Kampf on the nightstand next to the fucking bed. He studied Hitler. He's used Hitler's language, like certain sayings and shit, a million fucking times. I mean, when you talk like Hitler, when you say things Hitler said, when you have the same goddamn fucking, ideology, basically, then that's why they call you Hitler. I mean, for fuck's sake, guys. You guys just want to be able to be racist and be Nazis and not have anybody call you out on it. That's not how it works. No, it's not. That's complete bullshit. Because most of them are white and dumb fuck. You know what I mean? I'm white. I don't hate white people. I hate MAGA. I don't hate white people. Let me see. You're going to forget Epstein was a Democrat, or are we going to sweep it under the rug? It doesn't even make sense, the argument. So what? So he was a Democrat and a pedophile. So Democrats can't be pedophiles, I guess, is your argument. Why can't they be? And what does that have to do? What does Epstein? Nobody's arguing about whether or not Epstein's a pedophile. So it's a stupid argument that means nothing. We argue that Donald Trump is the pedophile. And regardless of what he was, he is a Republican now. Period. You voted for him because he's Republican. You didn't vote for him because he used to be Democrat. The conversation was never about Epstein. Everybody knows he's a pedo. And of course, there could be pedos on each side, dickheads. I've said on this show many times, Bill Clinton is accused of raping a girl with Trump in the Epstein files. I wouldn't be surprised if Bill's guilty. I don't give a shit. Guys, we don't care what party they're from. If they did this shit to kids, they should fucking go to jail. That's it. We don't care. You guys will protect Trump by any means and defend him by any means. We will not. None of us worship a politician on the left. There's not a single leftist that worships a politician. You guys worship Donald Trump. You do. You worship him, and it's nauseating. Then he gave a black woman a complete pardon. You mean the one Kim Kardashian talked him into giving? Kim Kardashian. So he gave a black person a pardon means he isn't racist. Do you guys know how dumb you sound when you say stuff like that? Do you know that I've never met a racist that doesn't have a black friend? They even tell you that. The first thing a racist will say when you call him racist is, I have black friends. And a lot of them do. He pardoned a woman who fucking Kim Kardashian talked him into pardoning. She was in the Oval Office. I remember the exact thing. I remember the case. The woman had like a few grams of crack cocaine. She traded it for a shopping cart full of clothes for her baby and got some ridiculous draconian sentence for it. 25 years or 50 years of life or some shit. Yeah. And as far as giving a black woman a home in Trump Tower, he did not. He did not. You can look it up. That's a rumor. Do you know that they've called Trump Tower and they've spoken to the person that runs the building, and she said that never happened? All he did is when Jennifer Hudson, some tragedy in her life took place, he let her and her family stay there. But the woman you're talking about, the homeless woman, that never happened. You could look it up right now. Look, watch. You want to see? Show you guys. Did Donald Trump let a homeless black woman live in Trump Tower for free? Look, the first thing that comes up, Trump did not allow a homeless woman to live in his hotel for free. A homeless woman says Donald Trump allowed her to live in his New York hotel for free, according to a video. AP's assessment, false. The Trump Organization told the Associated Press in 2016 that there was no validity to the video. It was just a homeless nut who just said this. Social media users are recirculating a video from 2016 of a woman in her pajamas standing by a window saying that Trump allowed her to live in his hotel for free. In the video, the woman says Trump personally allowed her to stay in his hotel for 8 years after staff found her squatting in one of the rooms. If it wasn't for him, I'd be homeless, she says in the video. AP debunked this video in December 2016 when it first surfaced. At the time, AP spoke with Trump Hotel spokeswoman Jennifer Rodstrom, who confirmed that the woman in the video was not a guest. You guys are so full of shit. You also think that he paid off somebody's house because they helped his mother change a flat tire. Completely untrue. I'm racist. How so? Dude, the left is racist. You're mad about deportations now because you don't have people to wash your cars, mow your lawns, do your physical labor. Wow, that's not racist at all. Bro, I've never had an illegal immigrant do anything for me. Listen, this is the problem you guys have. And I'm not even I don't even care that much. You can deport illegals. I don't care. I personally think if they've been here for years and they're not doing anything wrong, they should be able to stay. But you guys don't even know anything about it. You don't even understand that if we got rid of all the illegals in this country, the economy would crumble. The economy would crumble like we've never seen. The recession would be unbelievable. I saw a farmer one time, and this was probably 10 years ago. The farmer said, if I didn't have the illegals that worked on this farm, a gallon of milk would cost you $12. You don't even understand what their cheap labor contributes to American society and where we would be without it. You have no idea. Not to mention the fact that they pay $95 billion a year in taxes, and they pay into programs they can never collect from. You guys don't even know. You're told by Fox News they're all rapists, they're all pedos. Meanwhile, you're not even bothered by rapists and pedos because Trump is an adjudicated rapist and without a doubt a pedo, and you love him. Meanwhile, 5% so far of the people Donald Trump deported, 5% of them have a record. 5%. Now, when Obama deported people, 92% of the 5.2 million he deported had a criminal record. He does support Nazis in Europe. Yes, Trump did say that all we have to do is inject chloroquine. Yeah, I know. Everything bad in this world has come from the right. For the most part, yeah. Bro, I've been on YouTube 4.5 years. I've been relevant a long time. You can look at my channel, bro. I go to my playlists, look at my interviews. I've interviewed Hollywood celebrities on here, mobsters, all types of fucking people. I've been relevant for a very, very long time. Long before I started doing politics videos. Beta babies only speak from behind a screen. I believe you're talking about MAGA, and I agree. Joe Biden eulogized a Senator Robert Byrne, an active KKK. Maybe Joe Biden's a racist. What the fuck? Again, Joe Biden is not the president right now. So you're talking about something that doesn't even matter. But I would say that maybe Joe Biden is a racist. Joe Biden is 9,000 years old and he's a white male in America. I'd be shocked more if he wasn't a racist. What does that have to do with Trump being a racist? What does that have to do with it? I don't get it. You're preaching lies. Y-O-U-R. Like what? Tell me what. Look at how he spelled ideology. For your chat is to say nonsense stuff to continue the argument from the chat. Anything I tell you on here, I can prove to you in real time. Anything. And you guys are free. I know you guys are allergic to facts, but you're free to fact check me anytime you want. Anytime. Dirty dude, 199. This man is spitting facts. Thank you, guys. Why don't more of the guys on the left? The ones I'm helping, fight a MAGA with. Why don't you? I mean, you're not making the left look good. You contribute to the show if you can. It's very important. And by the way, hitting the like button, guys. I know you guys treat it like it costs you money. Hitting the like button is free. Now I know the majority of people here are MAGA and they won't hit it. But why is it that the people on the left won't hit it? Is it like my? That's why I did this show, because I'm starting to wonder, like, Am I being judged by the same people I'm fighting for every day because I use foul language or whatever it is? Because I can't seem to get you guys to contribute to this channel in any way, even when just hitting the like button or subscribing. How is it that like 85% of all the donations that ever came into this channel are from MAGA? How is that possible? They hate me. What the fuck? No, of course not, Lone Ranger. And nobody, I assure you, not one person in this world believes that. Not one person in this world. They don't. You're talking about people that are women, that were born with female reproductive organs and then transition to being a man as they see it. Okay? And they can give birth because they're women. You understand? They just live their lives as men. That's all anybody ever, and even that, listen, I'm not into the trans stuff. I don't defend them. I'm indifferent. But I mean, you guys get everything wrong. Nobody in this world thinks men can get pregnant. No liberal, nobody thinks men can get pregnant. You just don't understand. Like, see the explanation I just gave you? Doesn't that make sense? For some reason, part of this society is willing to say that if a woman decides she's a man, then she's a man. So when they talk about a man getting pregnant, they're talking about a woman getting pregnant who lives her life like a man. That's it. Nobody believes men can get pregnant. This is the shit Fox News feeds you. Nobody. LOL, slavery was literally Democrat ran. Republicans literally went to war to free the slaves. You know what's funny about you guys, Bob Barker, is that you guys are truly racist. You know you are. You'll say all day you won't because you're cowards and you're afraid to admit what you are. That's like a key tenet of MAGA, you know, as you guys are pussies. But you hate black people, but then at the same time, you try to take credit for good things done for black people. Guys, you could search this, look it up any fucking way you want. The bottom line is, between like the late 1930s and the 1980s, there was a party switch. And it's as simple to figure out as this. Are you ready for how simple this is? So, back in the day, you know, like when you're talking about, okay? Thank you, Uncle Ed. Donation from slightly left to center. Thank you. I appreciate the $1.99. The Democrats were conservatives. I mean, I can't believe you don't know that. The Democrats were the conservatives. The Republicans were the liberals. That's why Republicans freed the slaves, because even though they were Republicans, they were illegals. I mean, wait, what? Hold on, I got confused. They were liberals. Republicans were liberals. Democrats were conservatives. Now what is it? Are the Republicans still liberals, or are the Democrats liberals? So in other words, the party that was the party of slavery, they're now the liberals, and the party that freed the slaves, they're now all for slavery. I'll give you another example. Let me ask you something. Who flies the Confederate flag to this day? Just out of curiosity. Obama's not in the files, not even one time. Good try though. Trump gave Argentina $40 billion. What did I just ask you? I'm all over the place now. Oh yeah, what party flies the Confederate flag? No, completely untrue. Killed the only person interested in talking to you. Oh, please. Charlie Kirk was a scumbag. Good for him. Fuck him. He got what he deserved. Who cares about him? Please. He's the only person that would gladly pretend to have an open conversation and then lie through his teeth. Yeah. Southern boys. Yeah. Isn't that some shit? I'll give you an example. I mean, for anybody, this is how dumb you have to be to believe there was no party switch. So you yourself admitted that the Democrats, even though the Klan, by the way, was started by, Democrats, whatever, 8 Confederate soldiers. Okay. You guys can't even put 2 and 2 together. Like, well, wait a minute. And you guys know that if it was up to you, you'd reinstate slavery tomorrow. Okay. You know, you would. But what cracks me up is that you can't figure out that if they were the same, then the Democrats would be the party that's trying to keep statues of Robert E. Lee and Confederate leaders and slave owners. Think about that. How come it's the Democrats fighting to take down statues of slave owners and Confederate leaders if they're still the party of the KKK? And why is it conservatives that are fighting to keep all those statues up? Why did Nikki Haley, a Republican, fight like hell to be able to keep the Confederate flag in front of her state capitol building? And why did Democrats fight against her? I mean, if you can't figure that out, then you're too stupid to even understand the party switch. No, it didn't. Jimmy B, tell me how. You guys you can't figure that out. I mean, am I lying? Is the Confederate flag something that the left defends and flies, or is it something the Republicans still use to this day? Yeah, I know the whole story. I know. I'm fully aware of it. But, they're saying, whatever, fuck off. We are dying to hear it, loser. Hear what? Did I not just tell you? Maybe I'm behind in the chat. What? Nah, Victor, not today. I won't do the Steve Bannon cartoon. If I did, I would just do the first minute, but I'm not even going to do that. Why remove history, even bad history? Because it's bad history. I mean, why don't we have statues of Hitler up in our country? The South fought against the U.S. They were traitors to this country. Why would we keep them up? And by the way, isn't it you guys that want like George Floyd statues taken down and all that shit? And by the way, this is even more important. Let me ask you something. Since you guys are all about erasing history, like Goatmeal said, why remove history, even bad history? Let me ask you guys something. Do you I know the Confederates. Yeah, I'm fully aware. The Union, I know. When did I say any different? I'm losing my train of thought left and right. I forget what I was. Oh yeah. Are you guys bothered by Trump tearing down the East Wing of the White House? Yeah, why not? Fucking right. It's history that should be erased. Now, are you guys upset about Trump tearing down the East Wing of the White House? You are, but you guys aren't MAGA, right? No, not bothered. Yeah, see? So the same people that are worried about history being torn out, those are the symbols to you, those statues of racism, and that's why you like them. You dummies. I hear people from Brooklyn talking about it's my heritage. Shut the fuck up. You guys like those statues because they're symbols of racism, and that's why the left doesn't like them. You probably don't know the first thing about any of those Confederate leaders or the Civil War in general, guarantee it. But you want those statues up because of what they symbolize. They symbolize a time when slavery was legal in this country. Otherwise, what fucking interest would you have in them? But you're not bothered by Donald Trump tearing down the entire East Wing of the White House. That's how we know you're full of shit. It's not about history. It's about those symbols and what they stand for. That's it. I'm indoctrinated. Tell me how. I guarantee that Charlie Kirk did not go to hell. Well, there's no hell. There's no heaven either. So I agree. If you think Trump is smart, it just means he is smarter than you. After all, I love the poorly educated. Smart people don't like me. Yeah. Trump knows you guys. The only person that thinks you're dumber than I do is Trump.
Smart people don't like me, and they don't like what we talk about.
Yeah. No, well, that would be a bad move for me, Lone Ranger, considering that's what my live streams are about. So what should I talk about? Like gardening or something? Oh, my God. Taxpayers are paying for what? No. No, but who's paying for it are corporations, large corporations that you think just for the fuck of it, they're giving Donald Trump 25 million and 30 million and stuff like that. They don't want any favors in return. Yeah, okay. And by the way, Frank Nash said, I bet he says taxpayers are paying for it. Do you know what Donald Trump is doing with your tax money? You'll deny it, but let me give you the facts. And again, you can check this out right now as I'm saying it. All of you have access to the same information I do. Okay. You just got to actually look for facts and then you'll learn some. So Donald Trump so far since January 2025 has spent $110 million in taxpayer money on golf trips. Donald Trump triples the price of the rooms at Mar-a-Lago when he has to, put Secret Service up for a night or a weekend or a week, whatever it is, because he knows it's coming out of tax money. So he could charge whatever he wants and that money goes into his pocket. So he charges Secret Service. Not only does he charge them for the room, he triples the goddamn price when the Secret Service has to stay there. These are all facts. Donald Trump took a $400 million jet from Qatar. All right. That jet is going to cost $1 billion in tax money, your tax money, to retrofit. All right. Then it's not even going to be done till about 2029. Right. When he's leaving office, maybe 28, late 28, he'll have a few months in it. Guess where it goes in 2029 when he leaves office? Do you think future presidents get to use it or it stays with the Air Force or the Department of Defense? No, it goes to his presidential library where he can then use it as a personal plane. So that was 100% a bribe to Donald Trump. And you guys got no problem with that. You guys got no problem with where tax money goes as long as it's Trump putting it there, right? I will debate any of you, just to let you know. You can call in and debate me. Where's the proof of what I just said? Everywhere. You could literally look anywhere and find the proof. Yeah, I got a number, 410-941-9850. What was debunked? Because the shit I'm talking about is from his second term. So what was debunked? Nothing was debunked, guys. Just because you heard Ben Shapiro say it wasn't true or Fox News doesn't mean it was debunked. It just means it's somebody else that's lying to you. $10 times that, charge 10 times that for charge times 10 times that for the Secret Service to stay at his hotels. So the taxpayer money. All right. Well, there you go. There's a true conservative right there. Liberals are simply morons. You can call in right now, Conscious Machine, and debate me, and we can find out how much smarter than me you are. You want to do it? He doesn't charge him. What do you mean he doesn't charge him? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Oh, no problem. I'm in York, Pennsylvania, bro. Anytime you want. Anytime you want. So 410-941-9850. No, it hasn't. Goat meal. It hasn't. Believe me. Now, what did that guy mean by he doesn't charge him? What does he mean charge him? Are you talking about him charging Secret Service? He absolutely does. He does. Guys, he makes every dime he can off of the presidency. He did in his first term, and he's doing it now more so than ever. He made $4 billion in a year. 2025 was Donald Trump's most lucrative year in his entire life. It's a fact. Well, why don't you come on, Bob Barker, and I will debate the shit out of you. Or you could tell me what I'm not bringing facts about, and I'll show you facts. In York, Pennsylvania, Maple Street. Maple Street. I dare you to show up there. I dare you. What are they spending your tax dollars on in Minneapolis, Minnesota? What? Yeah, well, you do know that Nick Shirley's video got debunked, right? And all those learning centers and stuff turned out they were operating as normal. You know that, right? Matt, 2. He didn't. His business, some lost money also. He didn't. His business did. His business is him. That's his business. The money goes into his pocket. He took $7 million from foreign governments just because they would come rent out a floor of a hotel, and that was a way of infusing some cash into his fucking pocket. Secondly, his business lost money only because of COVID. You guys think he took this $1 billion hit because he's such a great president. He owns hotels, you dummies. He owns hotels. That's why he lost money. Every fucking hotel lost money during COVID. Guys, please hit the like button and subscribe for the love of God. I put no faith in the left anymore to show support for this channel, so I don't even know what I'm asking or why I'm asking it, but whatever. Didn't you want max dollar for minimum time? Why shouldn't he be different? Don't you want max dollar for minimum time? Why should he be different? Depends on what you're talking about. If Donald Trump is, conducting business from one of his businesses, yes. If he's charging taxpayers money for him being president, that's a problem. And if it was Biden, you'd be screaming bloody murder. And his hats, he made so much on as well. Oh yeah, no doubt. The merch. How is it his most lucrative year? Donald Trump made $4 billion in 2025. Donald Trump made $4 billion in 2025. You can look it up. 3.8 billion from his crypto coin. He sold AI chips that we were not supposed to give to the UAE. That's technology we didn't want them to have. And he sold them for $500 million. Do you know that even the Venezuela oil, he said himself that the money will go to a bank account that he controls, a bank account overseas that he controls. So the money's going straight into his pocket. I mean, you guys don't know any of this stuff, but it's true. What do you want the facts on? Don't just say show fact. Tell me what you want the facts on. Liberals are always looking for a handout. Complete opposite. Red states are welfare states. They're supported by blue states. Plus, they receive a disproportionate amount of welfare funding compared to blue states. That's just a fact. Owsley County, Kentucky is 99.2% white and 95% Republican, and they receive more SNAP funding than any county in America. Per capita, of course. So it's the opposite. You guys, you're talking about us waiting for handouts. You guys literally voted for a guy hoping and wishing that he could save you $5 to $10 a week on gas and eggs. Nobody here is looking for a fucking handout. Who? I've never done. I even got the chance. I had a heart problem. I could have gotten disability. I turned it down. I've never gotten a fucking thing from the government. And most liberals, I got news for you guys. Liberals are the more educated people. They're the wealthier people. Okay? And that's just the way it is. Republicans come from the least educated, poorest states in the country. That's why they receive a disproportionate amount of welfare funding. So everything you think is true, it's the opposite. Trump literally forfeited his entire salary. Okay, so let's take his first term. First of all, Bob Barker, let me ask you something. I'm going to go to the bottom, Bob. Can you tell me what the emoluments clause is? Bob, can you tell me what the emoluments clause is? I'll wait for Bob to tell me what it is. No, but why would I have to be to California to know that California supports most of your red states? You're a beta. Yes, whatever you say. Could you try it next time, maybe, to spell your right? I mean, it's amazing you guys are grown people and you don't know how to fucking use an apostrophe or spell in general. Guys, do me a favor, hit the like button. It's the least you could do for me since the left completely and totally has decided we're not donating shit to this guy. I don't know why, but maybe you could hit, except for the wonderful people that have, you know, it's just the 99.9% of you that refuse. But if you could at least hit the like button and subscribe, it would be appreciated. What state is that? Trump was elected because of people exactly like you and the Dem Party. No, Trump was elected because the majority of this country is stupid. 54% of this country reads on a third grade level, and 23% of this country is functionally illiterate. That's why you got a 24-hour news machine that you guys watch all 24 of those hours, lying to you and fear-mongering you and telling you the trans people are coming for your kids, the gay people are coming for your kids, the Mexicans are coming for your jobs, the Muslims are going to blow you up, and they scare you to death into voting yet again against your own best interests like you've been doing for 50 years. And that's why red states are the poorest, stupidest, sickest states in the country, because you keep voting for Republicans who have it in their best interest to keep you poor, sick, and stupid. I don't know. What do you mean by that? You knew what? All what other shit? Donald Trump doesn't take a salary because he knows he can pick the pocket of the uneducated rubes that support him. Yeah, where's Bob Barker to tell me about the emoluments clause? Well, I think you got it backwards, but listen, when you're talking about a bunch of people in areas where they look for reasons to riot and you consider them the left, then whatever. But if you knew that 99% of those people don't have any interest in politics and don't know the first thing about it, that's why they sit around looking for reasons to riot and loot. I mean, you would understand that even though you want to consider them Democratic voters and the left, it's not really accurate. Believe me. It's, it's not a whole bunch of college educated fucking people with good jobs out there rioting. And that's the majority of liberals. I mean, look it up. Look at the 2024 electoral map. The most educated, wealthiest states in this country voted for Kamala. The least educated, poorest states in this country voted for Trump. It's just a fact. And don't ever forget about January 6th. Don't ever forget about that. No. Stupid people are stupid, not people that don't agree with me. But here's the thing. You can't disagree with a fact. You could disagree with my opinion, but when I'm giving you facts, you can't disagree with them. That's what makes them facts. Your opinion means nothing when it comes to a fact. Well, you would be correct. You would be correct when you see riots. Yes. Actual paychecks must be out of the employee. Oh, okay. That's Tia spitting knowledge in the chat. Bob can't read. So, Bob, you don't know what the emoluments clause is, right? Bet no one knows where his actual salary goes. Yeah, and I'll tell you why. James Jones, good point. There is no proof Donald Trump donates his salary anywhere. It's just his word. There is no proof. Go find me where his salary has been donated to. You can't. It's impossible. But if he does, and he might, probably does, actually. I don't know. It's odd that we can't find where it goes, but the emoluments clause, Bob, there's a domestic one and a foreign one. It's very, very complicated, but basically what it says is, in so many words, if you take a paycheck, you can't take anything else. There's a foreign emoluments clause, like let's just say in an example where somebody doesn't take a paycheck, but a foreign country offers him a $400 million jet. If he takes a paycheck, he can't do all the stuff he's doing. He can't rob and loot and cheat and steal and sell pardons and all that shit. There's a domestic and a foreign. So it's very simple. If you take your paycheck, you make about 400 grand a year. If you don't take your paycheck, you can make billions. And that's what he's done. That's the only reason he doesn't take a paycheck. Donald Trump cheated his charities. He cheated kids with cancer, guys. It's illegal. He could not even have a charity in New York ever again. And you think he's donating money because he likes people or because he wants to help them? Are you out of your fucking mind? Donald Trump cares about Donald Trump and Donald Trump only. He would never donate money to a cause because he actually feels for the people that are suffering. Everything he does, there's a reason behind it. And there's a reason why he doesn't take a paycheck if he doesn't take it. And it's called the emoluments clause. Jesus Christ. Yes, they are. It's true, John. Yep. Blind Trump supporters are actually absolutely hopeless. They can't actually tell you why they're spotting off the bumper sticker rhetoric they've heard. Oh, yeah. Spitting, you mean? Yeah, I know. That's what they do. You know, most of them, they honestly, there's no bullshit. The information they're not getting from Fox News, they get from social media memes and shit. Yeah. Social media memes. I'm not kidding. I'll give you an example. Now, they'll say in the chat now I'm lying, and they did get paid. But they could look it up right now and find out they didn't. So when somebody uses campaign money for anything, there's campaign finance laws. Every fucking penny has to be recorded. Okay. And there are documents that you could find online as a regular citizen that will show you where everybody's campaign money went to. Okay. Now, there was a rumor going around while Kamala was running that actually they were stating it as a fact that she paid Beyonce and Megan Thee Stallion and Eminem, which even they're so dumb. They said that Megan Thee Stallion got paid like 4 times what Eminem got paid. And Eminem is literally the most successful rap artist in the history of rap music. There is not one rapper who sold more records than him, not in the entire world. Okay. And yet, you know, because it was all made up. So these morons to this day go running around talking about, oh, they didn't do that because they like Kamala. They did that because they got paid millions of dollars. So I found out, of course, I checked it out, and I found out from the campaign finance documents and shit that she did not pay anybody. All she did is the production companies, she would just pay for their costs, like if they equipment, travel, that's it. Okay. Which is only fair. So I Googled, where did this rumor start that Kamala Harris paid millions of dollars to all these artists? And you know what I found out? It was literally a guy on Instagram who made a social media meme. And then tens of millions of morons who read that meme went around repeating it like it's the truth, even though it was completely false. That's what makes them dangerous. You could show them mountains of proof of something negative against Trump. Nope, I don't believe it. Then you could tell them anything that favors Trump. Oh, yeah, that's 100% true. No doubt about it. If I came on here today and my little prompt up top said, how great is it that Donald Trump can grow wings and fly whenever he wants? The whole chat would be full of people, you know, claiming he can really fly and he has wings. There's no doubt about it. Anything that makes him, that's good for him. Jermonte Predigue, 199. Trump stole $2 million from cancer patients. He did, and thank you for the 199, my friend. Yeah, sure they are. Yeah, right. Even though the overwhelming majority of political violence is committed on the right. Yeah. Can we agree to say both sides are corrupt and both wealthy sides want more wealth and power? Yes. But the only thing I'll say to that is that we've never seen anything like Trump and his administration. The whole administration is filled with billionaires. Okay. There's fucking his inauguration. You fucking dummies talk about elites, the elites. We got to get rid of the elites, the elite. The guy lived his life in a golden fucking palace. And he sat at his inauguration with Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, and Elon Musk, the richest people in the world. And these dummies think they care about working people. There's never been corruption from any president like what we're seeing now. So she did pay. If they came on their own free will, they would use their own money to come speak against. No, they wouldn't. Why would they do that? They were doing her a favor already. Why should it cost them money? and try to spin it, which I knew that's exactly what you would do. But bottom line is, you guys said they got paid millions. You guys said Eminem got paid 2 million. Megan Thee Stallion got paid 8 million. Beyonce got paid 10 million. And the bottom line is, the only money that went to anybody didn't even go to the artist. It went to the production companies that set up the event. And it was just to pay for expenses. That's it. So now you'll try to spin it. Oh, but see, so she didn't. No. She did not pay what they said she paid, not even close. Nobody got $1 million, 2 million, 10 million, 100,000, 50,000, 10,000. Nobody got anything. I love how Charlie Kirk did when he went to Cambridge, got his ass handed to him. Dude didn't deserve to be shot, but it doesn't make sense. Him some type of saint or anything to be worshipped. Dude, well, you're exactly right. I mean, the guy was just a guy. Not only that, but he wasn't nearly as bright as they think. He was a stupid person, smart guy. Dean Withers handed him his ass after years of ducking him. Charlie Kirk ducking Dean. Parker handed him his ass after years of Charlie ducking Parker. The Cambridge students annihilated him. But here's the thing. If you tell these people what they want to hear, you are a god. Okay. I'm going to tell you, this is how, let me tell you guys something about myself. So I am on YouTube to make money. I want to make that clear. That's what I'm on here for. It does not mean what I say I don't stand for. And I'll tell you exactly how I can prove that. So for 4.5 years, I've made a living with this channel being basically about mafia history and a community of content creators who are supposed to be talking about the mafia, but they just really fight with each other. And there's some interesting characters, and it became like a reality TV show. And I've made a great living for 4.5 years doing that. Now that's slowing down. So I started with politics more. Okay. But here's what I know for a fact. And this eats me up inside, guys. It eats me up inside. For some reason, and that's why I made the prompt what I did today, and I've said this a couple of times throughout the show, no matter how many maggots I annihilate in a debate, no matter how many facts I prove to be true, no matter how much fighting I do for the left, I can barely get these people to hit the fucking like button. No less donate. Like I said, a few. I've had probably 20,000 views on this video so far when you add them all up, because people come and go, and I've gotten 6 super chats. And believe me, guys, I'm grateful for every single dime. It's not like you guys didn't do anything. That really, helps out a lot. But what I'm saying is, I see maggots that to speak well of Trump, and they're flooded. They're making a fortune. They have hundreds and hundreds of likes. They gain thousands of subscribers a week. The bottom line is, if I was a sellout and I didn't stand for what I believed in, I could go away for a week, rename this channel, start over, where none of you guys will even find me, okay, and do a channel in favor of Trump and MAGA, and I would make I'd have hundreds of views, hundreds of likes on every video. I'd have hundreds of thousands of subscribers a week, and I would make a fortune. I will make a fortune. I know that I could do that. Nobody can out-argue me, guys. I've out-argued cops in court. I'm a beast. I am. I could be so useful to either side. I just can't be MAGA. I can't be MAGA because I could never be people who support a pedophile. I could never be people who are be part of a group of people that are that cruel, that hate people just to hate them. I could never do it. But boy, does it eat me up inside that if I didn't have that fucking dignity in that part of me that says, nope, you can't sell out, I would be fucking rich just from doing these live streams. Because like you brought up about Charlie Kirk, these people, if you tell them what they want to hear, they will borrow money to give you. They will do whatever the fuck you want them to. You become a god in their eyes. Anybody. Look at the way they treat Ben Shapiro, Tucker Carlson, but Charlie Kirk went around and he went out of his way to debate unprepared college kids, young kids, way younger than him. And he would post only the clips where he beat them on some point. He used to duck. Dean and Parker used to go to his debates trying to debate him, and he would have his people tell them, no, he won't debate you, because he was scared to death of them. But Charlie Kirk always told them what they want to hear. And because of that, he's a god to them, which is, by the way, ridiculous. ridiculous. But I just look at it as money. I'm a businessman the way I see it. Okay. I've managed to make myself a lot of money on YouTube. And I thought politics, come on, man. I mean, there's no way people aren't going to show me support if I'm annihilating this guy every day. Dan Winter, $5. I think we underestimate pride more than stupidity. When it comes to MAGA, they are truly allergic to self-reflection and challenging their beliefs. Dan, thank you for the $5, and you're 100% correct. Yes, 100% correct. They're allergic to facts in general. Self-reflection without a doubt, and anyone challenging their beliefs, they go crazy. I even started this show today. I wanted to see if maybe we could find some common ground, because obviously with what I just said, like, I'm starting to question the classiness of liberals compared. I never thought I'd ask that question, but I'm curious about it. So I thought today I could maybe learn some shit from you guys. Not learn like something I don't know as far as intellectually. I'm talking about learn what bothers you about them, because I might agree with a lot of it. And the conversation devolved into the same thing, because the minute they hear you say something that might be anti-Trump, they lose their shit. You know what I mean? So they can't be reasoned with. They can't. Cash through tenant. People think Biden is bad, Trump is good. Biden is bad equals Trump is good. I know they do. Everything you say about Trump, you say Trump's a pedo, they'll be like, yeah, what about Biden? Well, let's just say Biden was a pedo. How does that make it better that Trump is? So if one guy's wrong, it's okay for the other guy to be wrong. I mean, it doesn't even make any sense. Tenaj, new member. Thank you very much for becoming a new member. I do want to let you guys know, I appreciate every dime you guys donate, every like I get, every view. I'm sorry. I'm just shocked that it, after months of this, it didn't become what I felt like I knew it would become. But anyway, pizza $4.99. Liberals have so many opinions on the country, but won't sign up to defend it. True or false? False. You're saying that nobody on the left will serve in the military? Is that what you're saying? You really believe that? I'm curious. I'd like you to elaborate. Please elaborate. DSP of politics. I don't know what that means. I don't know who DSP is. A woman is anyone born with female reproductive organs. Let me see. Yeah, well, everything's about money in life. You can't live without it. Trump isn't. In 2007, Trump helped. Oh, God. No, he didn't. All right, we'll go over this real quick. No, he didn't. You can look up the thing that was found in the Epstein files. In 2006, I believe it was, he called the police after it became public knowledge that that Epstein was under investigation for child sex crimes. Let me say it again. After it became public knowledge, Trump placed a call to cover his own ass. He never provided information in that call of any sort or anywhere else. He never served as an informant of any kind. He simply said, oh, thank goodness you caught him. Everybody's known about his crimes for years, which was retarded as could be, because he basically just said he knew everything Epstein was up to for years, even though he was best friends with Epstein for 10 years. And by the way, he admitted he knew it, but he never gave information. He never turned him in. Okay. That's a fact. The only thing he said in that phone call is Ghislaine Maxwell's pure evil. I would focus on her if I were you. That's it. And of course, he did that to take the attention off Epstein, because Epstein's the guy he committed his crimes with. He also said on that call, Epstein might tell you, I was in a room with some teenagers and him, but I got out of there right away. So you could figure it out on your own. MAGA will say, no. But if it was Biden, you'd say the same thing I'm saying, because it's true. That was a preemptive phone call just to cover his own ass. Oh, you have no idea how happy I am you caught him. This way they think, oh, he would never have been involved because he's happy we caught. Trump is a con man. He knows what he's doing. And he didn't kick him out of the club. Jeffrey Epstein's lawyer, this is something else we learned in the files. Jeffrey Epstein, by the way, years ago, when talking to Michael Wolff through email, said, he never kicked me out of the club. I was never a member. Okay. Now we find out in the files, Jeffrey Epstein's own lawyer quoted Donald Trump as saying, I never kicked Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago. He was never a member. He was a guest and he was never asked to leave. So see, and you could research that all you want. Go find out and tell me I'm wrong. You can't. So that's the problem, man. A lot of you guys, one thing about liberals, no matter what you want to say about them, they're educated, they're smart, they research, they learn things. When liberals talk, they spit facts. When MAGA talks, they spit gossip. That's what it is. Rumors, dumb shit that they saw in social media posts, you know? So you guys could run around saying that all you want, but the bottom line is eventually you're going to have to learn something about the topic you choose to talk about. You know, you're going to have to learn something because the rest of us are informed. What about the main Senate candidate? No, I don't spew bullshit under any circumstances. I just thought I'd find more support in this. That's all. Vince Milton, $3.99 super sticker. Thank you, Vince. Thank you very much, brother. Left and never tells the truth. Yeah, except for always. You're right. They never tell the truth. Trump lied 30,000 times in his first term, and 284 days of his first term was spent playing golf. 30,000 verifiable lies and misleading statements in 4 years. And you could check that out too. Go ahead and fact check me all day. Only person to release the Epstein files, Donald Trump. Donald Trump refused to. He didn't in his first term, and in his second term, he refused for the entire first year. He could have released them since July 2025 when Pam Bondi closed the case, right? He refused. Remember? They came out and they told you guys there are no files. What are you talking about? Trump said you're stupid if you're still worried about Epstein. He said, I don't want their support if that's what they're worried about. He's talking about you. Called you stupid yet again. Donald Trump did not in any way, shape, or form release the files by choice. And this is another thing I mean about you guys eventually having to learn something if you choose to speak on it, okay? I fact check everything I hear before I come on here and repeat it so I don't sound like you guys. They had to get a discharge petition together and create a law called the Epstein Files Transparency Act to force the Department of Justice to release the files. And that's why first we got 12,500 files, then we got 3 million, and now there's another 3 million they don't want to give up. Todd Blanche said, you ain't getting it. Okay, so they're still breaking the law. They've been breaking the law since December 19th. That was the deadline. They had to release the files by then. They didn't. So, Trump did not. It was literally a discharge petition that made this happen. And 214 of the signatures on the discharge petition were Democrats. 4 of them were Republicans. And Trump tried to talk them into taking their names off the petition or never signing it at all. You can listen, Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert, they'll tell you straight up. Trump begged her to take her name off of it because he didn't want this law being passed. All right. He begged Marjorie Taylor Greene. Well, actually, with her, he got hostile. He told her it's a hostile act if you sign the discharge petition. He tried to bury the Epstein file. Yes. Now they give him credit for releasing them, even though it took him, a year. He didn't kick him out of the club, and he never turned him into the police. You could look it up. Watch this. You want to see something? Did Donald Trump ever turn Epstein into the police?
Based on FBI documents released in February 2026, there are reports that Donald Trump contacted the Palm Beach Police Department in 2006 regarding their investigation into Jeffrey Epstein. 1. The claim. A 2019 FBI interview with the former Palm Beach Police Chief, Michael Ryder, reveals that Trump called him around 2006 to express support for the investigation into Epstein, saying,
because the investigation was already happening.
"Thank goodness you're stopping him. Everyone has known he's been doing this." 2. Context of the call. The document states that Trump, having reportedly kicked Epstein out of his Mar-a-Lago club, said he was one of the very first people to call the police when he found out they were investigating. 3. Comments on associates. During this alleged 2006 call, Trump reportedly identified Ghislaine Maxwell as Epstein's operative and said she was evil, urging police to focus on her. 4. Trump's position. The White House did not explicitly confirm the call but stated that if it did happen, it reinforces Trump's claims that he cut ties with Epstein in the early 2000s and viewed him as a creep. And 5. Department of Justice stance. While these records indicate interaction with law enforcement in 2006, it is distinct from formally turning in a suspect in real time but rather contacting police during an existing investigation.
There you go. So he didn't turn Epstein in. He called in to cover his ass. Yeah. Department of Justice stance. The Department of Justice official told BBC they were not aware of any corroborating evidence that the president contacted law enforcement 20 years ago. Yeah, see, it's distinct from formally turning in a suspect in real time, but rather contacting police during an existing investigation. You know, guys, Donald Trump wants to be a hero. That's all he wants. He wants everybody to love him. That's why people can manipulate him with stupid gifts, dumb prizes, the coal prize he just got, the Nobel Peace Prize that doesn't belong to him. Anybody's just got to give him a present and he'll blow them. Okay, this guy just wants to be liked. He would love to be a hero. If this guy turned in Epstein, he would never stop talking about it. You'd be hearing about it 24 hours a day from him. He'd be Truth Social posting, tweet X's, X posts, fucking press conferences, cabinet meetings, everything imaginable where he would take credit for turning in Epstein. But Donald Trump denies it. Isn't that some shit? And again, we now found out from Epstein's lawyer, Trump never kicked Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago. So how'd that work out for you? Slap nuts, $20. I'm not MAGA, but I hate liberals because they're incredibly naive. They buy into things like multiculturalism, which is only promoted by lobbyists from big ag, so they can reduce wages for high profit margins. Well, I appreciate you. I don't know if I agree 100%, but I appreciate you letting me know, because that's what this show is supposed to be about. People forgot that. I don't know if they're... I will say this, Slapnuts. I know what you're saying, certain things, yeah. But MAGA, you have to admit, are the most naive people. I mean, Trump could tell them tomorrow that he has 3 dicks, and they would run around in chats all over the world telling people Trump has 3 dicks. I mean, that's true. I told you, I always say, if the day I find a community that's 100% MAGA, I'm going to become a door-to-door salesman, and I'm going to sell magic beans to people. Because I know that once they find out those magic beans don't work, they'll still buy more, as long as I tell them they'll work next time. I know it. MAGA are the dumbest people on planet Earth. You got to admit that. Thank you, though, for the $20. That really helps, man. I appreciate it. Both spit bullshit. It depends on the topic. Yeah, I agree. Only people from a cult could know what a woman was due to... Wait a minute. Only people from a cult could know what a woman was do their entire life, and they only short years ago completely forget what one is. Wow, that is one of the most poorly written, incoherent, rambling nonsense comments I've ever read. Everybody knows the difference between a man and a woman. Everybody does. Believe me. Well, I don't even know. I've never heard anything of the sort. That sounds like a Fox News thing to me. But again, nobody believes men can have babies, including liberals. All they mean is women born as females who chose to live their lives later on in life as men. They're still capable of giving birth to a baby. But liberals insist that if you say you're a man, then you must be a man. So they'll refer to you as that. But they don't mean an actual man can have a baby. They don't. What? They prove nothing at all. I check on it every day. We have yet to find out that there was any fraud or that there was anything outcome determinative or that it helped Trump in any way. There was just a procedural mistake. It's as simple as that. You guys could turn it into whatever you want, but I'll tell you what, go get me the credible source that says that proves any kind of fraud in Fulton County, Georgia. Go ahead. Every channel is, bro. Every channel is. There's no such thing as a YouTube channel. It's not about money. Even if they don't make any, their goal is to make it someday. You're talking about MAGA? I agree. And Biden lied during Obama and his whole term. Same with Kamala, and yet he still believes him. Well, you can't just say that. Like when I tell you Trump lies, I could tell you things he's lied about. You just say Biden lied during his whole term. Well, what did he lie about? Tell me specifically. No, you know, Bob Barker, that Joe Biden never fell asleep on camera, but Trump has now fallen asleep on camera like at least half a dozen times in the last 3 months. I mean, he fell asleep for 40 minutes during a cabinet meeting while Marco Rubio and RFK were speaking. He did a cabinet a couple of weeks ago, a cabinet meeting, and he fucking ended it early. And he said, because it's boring, I'll fall asleep, basically. Okay. So you guys, it's so funny that you'll still use this shit about Biden that was never really true about Biden, but is 100% true about Trump. And it's also hilarious that you can't defend Trump without bringing up Biden. You can't. You got to say something about Biden when it's irrelevant. Biden his existence is meaningless anymore. He's not the president, you know? You can't debate a cult member. They can never reason, even with facts. No, they can't. But that's what makes it easy to beat them. Slapnuts, $2. I gave you $20. Address my last comment. I did, brother. Sorry, I got behind in the chat, man. There's a lot of comments, so I get behind. But thank you for that and for this one. Thank you. We are about up to about 15,000 genders. Yeah, I'll tell you right now, and this will piss off my lib followers, but I don't lie about my beliefs in anything. That is ridiculous to me. It's absurd. I've made it clear many, many times, and this is not, I have nothing against trans people, nothing. But I have a reality I live in that I always lived in my whole life. And your choices or what you feel you were born as, right, it doesn't change my reality. So if I see a man, I see a man. If I see a woman, I see a woman. That's it. You know, I know that's going to make my lib followers mad, but it's one of the reasons I tried to do this show, because believe it or not, there's very little I have in common with MAGA, but there are some things. Very, very, very little, though. I never bought into that liberal horse shit about any of that. When I see that a teacher gets fired for misgendering a student, I want to put my fucking fist through the TV. It makes me sick. When I hear anybody gets in trouble for misgendering someone, I want to throw up. So I'm not on that train, believe me. Let me see something. Biden never fell asleep on camera. Google it. He didn't. That I know of. He might have, but I don't think he did. Did Biden ever fall asleep on camera?
While some videos claiming Joe Biden fell asleep have been debunked, he did admit to almost falling asleep during a 2024 debate. Other instances, like a trip to Angola, showed him seemingly dozing off, but the contexts varied.
Yeah. How many times has Trump fallen asleep on camera?
Donald Trump has reportedly appeared to fall asleep on camera several times, specifically in late 2025 and early 2026. These incidents include a November 2025 Oval Office event, a December 2025 cabinet meeting, and during his hush money trial.
Yeah. And there's more than that, by the way. There's more than that. So see how you guys, everything you say is wrong, and everything I tell you, when I go to prove it to you, it's almost word for word exactly what I said. You see? No, he doesn't. 12 Dan site. He does not. Do you guys believe? I swear to God, Donald Trump is like a myth to you guys. Like you believe the legend of Donald Trump. Donald Trump has golfed more than any president in American history. He vacations more than any president in American history has. He spent more tax dollars on vacationing than any president in American history. Those are facts. He does not work, guys. Just because you see him on camera, what work is he doing? Explain to me. Where's the work? He's told you about a bunch of trade deals that never materialized. They were all bullshit. He's told you about a bunch of wars he ended, didn't end a single one. Where is he working? When? I don't see it. I don't see him working. I don't understand. I mean, I guess technically if he's on camera, he's working as president. But do you know that the info has been leaked and it's been confirmed that a few months ago, Donald Trump changed his schedule. He was starting his day at 10:37 every morning, and he changed it to either 12 or 12:30. And he ends his day at like 7 p.m. He doesn't work, guys. Donald Trump doesn't even know what to do. The guy had to put a fucking sign. You know that there's signs all over the White House now because he gets lost? Swear to God. He said it himself. They had to put an Oval Office sign on the Oval Office. He said this because he gets lost trying to find the Oval Office. I swear to God, he said that himself. There's signs for all the different parts of the White House so he could find them. You got everything you think is true about Biden is actually true about Trump. Hazy Daisy, $5. I believe the biggest reason the Biden admin decided against releasing the files was because the MAGA would use that as an excuse to disbelieve them. Well, possibly, but you got to remember something else too. Because people forget when they say, why didn't Biden release the files? They conveniently leave out the fact that Trump had the files before Biden and didn't release them. But the fact of the matter is this. When that big bust took place in 2019 or whatever, Ghislaine Maxwell, there was an open case. The whole case was open. Epstein was being charged. Ghislaine Maxwell was being charged. Epstein then died very mysteriously under Trump's administration, by the way. What a surprise. Ghislaine Maxwell, she was prosecuted during Trump's last months in office and during the first year of Biden's administration. So the case was open. Plus, it stayed open because, according to the FBI, throughout 2019 to 2025, they were still getting information sent to them. There was open investigations. There was litigation going on with Prince Andrew and all kinds of crazy shit. And Ghislaine Maxwell was on appeal until January of 2024. The case was still open. Then, in July of 2025, tell me I'm lying. You could go look up the video. I believe Tia can correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it was July 7th. They came out and told you there was no files. And Pam Bondi said the case is closed. No further people are being prosecuted. That's when it became okay to release the files. The files were sealed because it was an open investigation. It's a fact, but they don't know that because they don't learn anything. Play what clip, Bob? What clip would you like to see? No, well, obviously not, because we've seen 3 million files. Obviously, the Trump administration would release anything with Democrats first. There's no question about it. Like he did Bill Clinton. He released Bill Clinton shit and nothing else came out about Bill Clinton, right? So I hate to tell you, and I personally, if you're a Democrat or Republican, if you're a pedo, you should die as far as I'm concerned. But so far, we've seen no real Democrats in the files, except for Bill Gates, who's not a politician, and Bill Clinton. And Bill Gates is only in there for fucking a Russian hooker and getting an STD. Bill Clinton is in there charged or accused right alongside of Donald Trump of raping a 13-year-old girl. And I say Bill Clinton is probably guilty too. So, but unfortunately for you, it's not Biden's friends, it's Trump's friends. Howard Nutlick went to the island with his children after emailing Epstein and asking him if it was okay and giving Epstein the ages of all those children. Very bizarre. And Elon Musk was begging Epstein to let him go to the island on the wildest party night of the week. Joe Biden never shit his pants while speaking to media either. Do you believe the accusations that he actually shit his pants, or is it just a crazy internet rumor? I wouldn't doubt if he did. I mean, he's very old. But, Jeffrey, are you going to deny that Donald Trump shit his pants just like 2 weeks ago in the Oval Office? Because he shits himself. There was reports while he was in court during all his cases where he would shit himself, and the people around him would be holding their nose and disgusted, and it stunk. I mean, he's known for smelling like shit. That's like a common knowledge about him. That's why a lot of the time you'll see when people are close to him, they're all grossed out. He shit his pants in the Oval Office a couple of weeks ago, and a woman behind him You know what I mean? Like, so, but Biden, yeah, probably, yeah. Who, Biden, yeah, you're probably right. Trump definitely did, though. There's no question about Trump doing it. Trump's named in the files 38,000 times. Well, that's what we thought. That's what we thought. And then we found out that with the unredacted files, he's in there 1 million times. Obama's lawyer emailed Epstein more than any other person. I don't know that to be true. Let me check that out. You might be right, but again, that would be Obama's lawyer and not Obama. Did Obama's lawyer email Epstein more than any other person? Based on the recent analysis of newly released documents, Catherine Rumler, a former White House counsel to President Barack Obama and later the top lawyer at Goldman Sachs, that's Trump's friends, was one of the most frequent correspondents in Jeffrey Epstein's email archives, with more than 150 emails exchanged over several years. How is it only 150 and she's one of the most frequent correspondents? I don't know, but when you could show me Obama did it, then let me know, because it says former. So in other words, it doesn't say that she did this while Obama was in office. It doesn't say anything of the sort. Oh, okay, there you go. So 2 years while Obama was in office. The emails, particularly between 2014 and 2019, when Trump was in office, show Rumler provided advice on managing his reputation, such as drafting a legal letter to ABC News to stop a story featuring one of his victims. She also provided input on a response to a U.S. senator inquiring about his 2008 plea deal. Yeah, she sounds like a piece of shit, honestly. Anybody's giving somebody advice to cover up the fact that they're a pedophile makes me sick. Just a little food for thought. I think once Bill Clinton and Hillary start talking, Trump's going to be in some deep shit. Anyone who committed crimes and is in those files needs to be prosecuted. Oh my God. That's why the Republicans, they will not allow Bill and Hillary to testify in public on TV. They won't let them do it. It's got to be a private thing. And they keep saying no, because their exact words were the truth belongs to the public. Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton want to tell everybody. They want to be under oath and testify in front of everybody, not just with Republicans, so the Republicans can change what they say and cover up for Donald Trump. No. Why do you think Trump all of a sudden, tell me I'm wrong, he's all over TV like, well, I really don't like what they're doing to Bill Clinton, and I don't think they should force them to testify, because he knows Bill has some dirt on him. Plus, he knows that if they force Bill Clinton to testify, Trump is next. And he's avoided suing anybody who's ever accused him of sexual assault his entire life, because he can't sit in a deposition under oath and lie. He'll go to fucking jail, president or no president. So he's scared of depositions. He shitted the Fox News couch. Oh yeah, he did. You're right. He did. I remember. What is it? I forget what that show is called, but there's like 3 of them that sit on a couch or something with a guest, or 2 of them. Yeah, I remember that. Well, Biden's daughter said her exact words were showers with my dad that were probably not appropriate as a child. So, and this was in the context, she was writing this to a psychiatrist. The diary was something the psychiatrist gave her the idea to do it. She was sharing this stuff with the psychiatrist. So she was talking about issues she's had in her life, and she was given reasons why some of those issues, might have occurred. She never said he molested her. She said when she was a child. So we don't know if she was 3 days old. We don't know if she was 6 months old, but she wasn't a child, of the age where I'm sure the kid could see his dick and understand listen, it's weird to me. I would never shower with my daughter. But the point is, if you believe Ashley then, because this is the thing about MAGA, you guys are selective with everything. If it's good for your argument, you believe it. If it's bad for your argument, you don't. And what you guys always leave out, and quite frankly, you probably don't even know this, is that during the Gawker lawsuit over that diary, that switched hands 1 million times before it got to Gawker. So there's no, we don't know for sure that every word in that diary was written by Ashley. She said in a letter to the judge, my dad never hurt me in any way. I love him dearly. By the way, she introduced him at the DNC last year. She said some beautiful things about her father. She said, he never hurt me in any way. My words in that diary were grossly misinterpreted and taken out of context and used to lob false accusations at innocent people. She didn't even say inappropriate showers. She wasn't even sure. She said probably not appropriate. And she denies him ever essaying her in any fucking way. So here's the thing. You guys only believe her for the part that fits your argument. Oh, he took showers with me. And you turn that in. You guys are always coming in. She was 12. She was 15. She was 8 at the time. You just make up ages. There's no age available. It's just something you guys say. And then you refuse to believe her in her letter to the judge where she said, my dad never did anything of the sort to me. I love him dearly. So I believe her both times. And I think Joe Biden is a weird motherfucker for taking showers with his daughter at any point in time. But it does not prove pedophilia. It just doesn't. I watch this. You want to see Trump talk about wanting to fuck his own daughter? Here.
Charges that Jeffrey Epstein was running a sex trafficking ring in the early 2000s that included underage girls as young as 14 years old.
Donald Trump in 2002 said of Epstein, he's a lot of fun to be with. It's even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side.
He routinely spoke fawningly of Jeffrey. He admired Epstein's lifestyle.
Your daughter, she's beautiful. Can I say this? A piece of it.
She's actually always been very voluptuous.
What does Tiffany have of Marlon?
She's got Marlon's legs. We don't know whether or not she's got this blood yet.
You were playing tennis and you came off the court. Quote, look at that piece of I would love some of that. It so happened that Trump was referring to Cohen's then 15-year-old daughter, Samantha.
I had the impression that he was interested in younger women and that, you know, women would age out for him.
Miss Teen Universe? Yeah, that's like giving Jeffrey Dahmer a cooking show.
I'll go backstage before a show, and everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I standing there with no...
Donald Trump is heard making questionable comments about a young girl.
You going up the escalator? I'm going to be dating her in 10 years.
A lawsuit against the presumptive GOP nominee alleges he raped a girl when she was 13 years old.
Prince Andrew answering questions for the first time about his friendship with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
I don't know Prince Andrew, but it's a tough story.
Trump has been photographed with Prince Andrew as far back as the year 2000.
Ghislaine Maxwell is accused of helping Epstein sexually abuse underage girls.
I've met her numerous times over the years, especially since I lived in Palm Beach, and I guess they lived in Palm Beach. But I wish her well.
You know about sexual predators and things like that. I mean,
you are one.
All right, I was going to say that, but it's true.
All right. So now, Juan, I love you, bro, but this is where you're disingenuous and full of shit. Juan said something. I can't find his comment now. Like, are you going to play this again? You play it even though TYT is the host. Something like that. Oh, there it is. There it is. You're going to show this video repeatedly ever, though the Young Turks host is tired of their lying. The Young Turks host is tired of their lying. I don't know what that means. The Young Turks recently apologized for their sudden support of Donald Trump when he won the election, and they don't feel like that anymore. But the Young Turks did not. You don't understand. The Young Turks, that none of that was from the Young Turks. Jesus Christ, Midas Touch, the Young Turks, these news organizations, they put together compilations. The videos are 100% legit. They're just clips of videos. And last night, while you were at the casino, Juan, you probably at least heard it. I played individual clips, the entire clip in context from that very video, because people were trying to say that some of those clips weren't real or they were taken out of context. Every clip in that is real. The only thing TYT had to do with it is they put together the compilation. And the reason I play it isn't for any of the news clips. It's for the words you hear coming out of Trump's mouth about his own daughter. That's why I play them. Biden paid off his own daughter with hush money. I'd rather pay off a porn star. LOL, hypocrite clown. Well, you've completely made that up. There's zero proof to, Bob Barker, to back that up. That's the thing about you, Bob. You're one of the dumber ones. You really just say shit without any proof. You'll say, Man, the fucking accusations about Trump and those files are all hearsay. But then you'll state this as fact, even though nobody has ever said in history that Biden paid off his daughter. You couldn't find me one credible source that says that. You just make things up. I show you facts and you make things up. Bob Barker, you are 100% MAGA. I'll give you that, man. You are no phony. You are 100% MAGA. Looking up 99, there's the phone number. You said I wouldn't debate someone like you. There's the phone number. How come you haven't called yet? My phone's right here. Okay. Listen. Ringer's on. Let's do it. Lies and truths. Well, none of them are lies. You tell me which one's a lie, Juan. I bet you I can prove to you it's true. Tell me which one. Thank you. Yeah, Bob, that's the best compliment I can give you. You are 1,000% MAGA. It's really an insult, but you don't see it that way. Yeah. Exactly. I said I took showers with my dad till I was about 9. No big deal. No abuse. We lived at the beach, had outdoor shower. She never said until 9, but that's interesting. Outdoor shower. So in other words, they were dressed. They had bathing suits on. That makes sense. That's not actually weird then. Okay. I believe you just made all of that up, but if that's your argument, you must be arguing in favor of Biden and not against him. She never gave an age. There was never a time in that diary where she said, my father showered with me at this age or until this age. It's not there. It doesn't exist. Ouch, he called his daughter voluptuous. His daughter said he's a sexual predator. I really hope that was just a shitty woman joke. I don't know what you mean by that, but you're saying, what is your argument exactly? That calling his daughter voluptuous doesn't mean anything? Because voluptuous means curvy and attractive. I have never in my fucking life heard a man comment about his daughter by saying she's voluptuous. I've never heard a man say that one thing he has in common with his daughter is sex. Trump said that. I've never heard a man say she's always had a beautiful figure. I've said often, if she wasn't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. Never heard, and neither of you, Godsoil, none of us have ever heard a man say these types of things about his daughter. That Robin Leach clip in there, which I played the full clip last night, Donald Trump is asked about Tiffany, what does she have in common with Marla? And where does Trump go with it? Well, she has Marla's legs. Very, very odd thing to say. We don't know if she has this part yet. His little girl was 4 at the time, and he's speculating about how big her titties are going to be. Plus the clip where he looked at the 10-year-old girl and said, I'll be dating her in 10 years. And she went, ew. Bob, please call. I want to hear how stupid you are. Yeah, well, I love when people call me out like that, looking up 99, whatever his name is. You won't debate somebody like me. You'll get destroyed. And then I drop the number and they disappear from the chat. You guys, not one of you yet have been willing to call. It's funny. Yeah, there's nothing to talk about. It proved nothing. It proved nothing. Let me see. Let's check it out. Let me because I don't even know exactly. So let me find out with you. What are first of all, how many did you say? 17,000? I think it was a lot. It wasn't missing. All right. Was there 17,000 ballots missing from Georgia? It doesn't say anything of the sort. Oh, claims that, all right, let's see. It might be true. Let me see. Fact check claims that 17,690 ballot images from the 2020 presidential election are missing in Fulton County, Georgia. Before I go on, let me just state that 17,000 votes would have changed nothing. It's not outcome determinative. He lost by 11,000 votes in Georgia. But let me see. More than a year after U.S. President Joe Biden won the 2020 presidential election, social media users are claiming 17,690 ballot images are missing in Fulton County, Georgia. County officials told Reuters that they recounted all ballots from the general election 3 times. The July 2022 update includes new statements in paragraph 9 to 13. Examples can be seen here, here, and here. The text in one post reads, all in-person ballot images are missing in Fulton County, Georgia. Fulton is also missing 17,619 mail-in ballot images, which alone is more than the entire margin in Georgia. Some posts include, oh, yeah, my bad. I'm so stupid. I said 11,000. Yeah, it would be more than the margin. My bad. So it would be outcome determinative. Some posts include my fault. Some posts include a clip of a press conference given by Garland Favorito, an activist who led the lawsuit against Fulton County, alleging election fraud discussed here. The full video can be seen on YouTube here, where Favorito makes the claim that 17,690 ballot images are missing from Fulton County. One American News Network journalist Christina Bobb said in a tweet here on November 9th, 2021, all in-person ballot images in GA are missing 17,690 mail-in ballot. All right, so let's get to what's the fucking answer? Georgia Rule 183 containing sections, blah, 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 storage of ballot returns. I don't see an answer. Let's try this again. Did 17,690 ballot images go missing from Georgia? Georgia ballot inquiry originated with election denier in Trump White House. FBI search of Georgia election offices relied on years-old claim of fraud. All right, I guess I'll read this. Can I do this? Can I ask AI? Let me ask it, because I don't feel like fucking reading 900 different things. There. Because you still might be right. I don't know. Did 17,690 ballot images go missing in Georgia? Claims regarding 17,690 missing ballot images in Fulton County, Georgia, originate from a specific 2021 allegation that has been repeatedly addressed by election officials and investigators. Guys, I swear to God, there's not a single thing you know for real. I'll keep reading. The allegation, activists and certain commentators claimed in 2021 that 17,690 mail-in ballot images were missing from the 2020 election records, suggesting this hindered verification. State investigation. The Georgia Secretary of State's office and independent investigators found that while some digital images were not preserved, this was not a sign of fraud. At the time of the 2020 election, Georgia law did not require counties to retain digital ballot images. It only required the preservation of the original paper ballots. Verification. Officials emphasized that the 2020 election results were verified through 3 separate counts, including a 100% hand recount, where every physical paper ballot was touched and seen. Because the paper ballots exist, the results remain verifiable regardless of the digital image status. Recent developments. In early 2026, these years-old claims resurfaced as part of an FBI search of Fulton County election offices. The search warrant affidavit noted that the county acknowledged it did not have scanned images for every ballot from the original count or recount. However, state investigators have maintained that these technical record-keeping deficiencies did not affect the outcome's election. Aw. Sorry, guys. But hey, we talked about it. I swear to God, that's why I never heard of that. It's bullshit. Everything you guys see and hear is nonsense. It's all made up. It's all made up. I mean, you guys know nothing. You guys know that. You don't realize that Trump is doing this because he refuses. He's such a fucking baby. The guy tried to boycott the, was it the Emmys, I think? Because in 2014, because The Apprentice didn't win Best Show of the Year. He can't lose. He's a fucking baby. So The 2020 election has been analyzed by so many fucking firms, so many agencies, that there's no question, as Bill Barr said, Trump's own attorney general, and Ivanka agreed with him, the 2020 election was the most secure election in American history. Donald Trump hired a firm in 2020 in 2021 to find fraud in the 2020 election. They couldn't find any, so he fired the firm. You look that up right now. Guys, you live in a fucking fantasy where your guy won when he actually lost. And Donald Trump is the one that really, really resides in that fantasy. James Frank, new member. Thank you, James. Hey, I appreciate anybody that becomes a member of the channel, too. That's awesome. Thank you guys so much. Juan Colon, be honest. Don't just find something that fits your narrative. Well, I was just honest, Juan. What do you think? I'll tell you what, if you guys can find a credible source that says that it proved fraud, you can give it to me right now. I'll pull it up on the screen and I will say, guys, I'm sorry, I was wrong. So go ahead, Juan. James Frank, $10. Thank you, brother. I appreciate your support very much. Anybody who donates, you guys are awesome. And please hit the like button and subscribe. It's very important. Trump still won. He just hurt that everyone didn't want him back nationwide. Trump still won in 2020. What? You were all looking in the wrong place. Look at the connection between Epstein and the Trilateral Commission. Yeah, I'll get right on that. 11,780 votes. That's what was the margin. Get ready for Trump third term, queers. Well, you know that even Trump said he knows he can't run for a third term. He said it to reporters on Air Force One like 2 months ago. You guys live in a fantasy, like I said, and it goes to show too. And we will never let you guys get away, we'll never let you live this down ever. That you show your true colors, even in these stupid comments. You talk about being constitutionalist. The funniest thing I ever heard. The only constitutional amendment you care about is the second. You don't care that Trump takes press passes away from any journalist that asks him a tough question. You don't care that he sues news networks if they have any news programs that are critical of him. You don't care that he got Jimmy Kimmel suspended because Jimmy Kimmel picks on him. You don't care that he got Stephen Colbert fired because Stephen Colbert picks on him. You don't care that he just like in Project 25, just like it said in there, he uses the military to break up peaceful protests. You don't care about the First Amendment. Now we found out you don't even care about the Second Amendment. Okay. The 22nd Amendment says no president can run for a third term. You don't care about that amendment. And the 12th Amendment says, because you guys suggested, well, if he can't run for a third term, JD could run, Trump could run as his running mate, then JD will win, drop out, and Trump will be president. Well, the 12th Amendment says anybody who's not eligible to be president is not eligible to be vice president. But you don't care about that one either. Unfortunately for you, there's no chance of him running again. And by the way, he's not going to make it through this term, guys. He's falling apart physically. You can tell me I'm lying? Look at his ankles. My mom just passed away recently of heart failure. I know what causes that. It's congestive heart failure. That's what Donald Trump has. I don't want to hear about no venous insufficiencies. Multiple doctors have come out and said that is not what causes that. It's congestive heart failure. His ankles are this fucking big. He's dying. Yeah, for real. You'll remember me saying this to you. You'll be old. You'll shit yourself and skip showers because it hurts too much standing. Have fun getting old, G-boy. Okay. Well, I don't understand. I mean, what's the argument? I said that I think Joe Biden probably shit himself because he's old. I don't get it. Yes, reports and affidavits have referenced ballots being scanned multiple times and raised the possibility of a duplicate ballot in Fulton County, Georgia. Let's see. Have there been reports and affidavits that, well, maybe I should say, is there any validity to reports and affidavits that say that ballots were scanned multiple times and raised the possibility of duplicate ballots in Fulton County, Georgia? Oh, man, I should have known. How an FBI affidavit to seize ballots relied on debunked election claims. FBI search of Georgia election offices relied on years-old claims of fraud, affidavit shows. Let me copy and paste that. Hold on. I'm gonna put that in. No. What are you doing? Oh my God, you motherfucker! Juan, I'm telling you, bro. It's let it go, bro. Joe Biden won fair and square. The whole fucking world knows it. Mike Lindell put millions. He lost everything trying to prove some fraud in the election, and he got nowhere. Everything you guys say is bullshit. I mean, even fuck me. Whatever. Yeah, well, it's debunked, Juan. What do you want me to do? I tried to copy and paste it. I fucked up somehow. Anyway, let me see if I can ask a different way. All right. Is there any validity to reports that ballots were scanned multiple times and raised the possibility of duplicate ballots in Fulton County, Georgia? Let's see how many. Reports of ballots being scanned multiple times in Fulton County, Georgia during the 2020 election have been partially substantiated by state investigations, though officials maintain these were administrative errors rather than evidence of fraud. Recent developments included a January 2026 FBI search of Fulton County election records have brought these claims back into focus. Reprimand for double scanning. In May 2024, the Georgia State Election Board reprimanded Fulton County after investigators confirmed that more than 3,000 ballots were likely scanned twice during the 2020 recount. Duplicate ballot images. State investigators identified batches where sequentially ordered ballot images appeared in two separate batches, which they attributed to poor batch management and sloppy processes rather than intentional misconduct. Impact on outcome. Independent analyses and state officials have stated that even if these ballots were counted twice, the total, estimated between 3,000 and 4,000, was not large enough to change the election outcome, which saw a margin of over 11,000 votes statewide. Critics often cite pristine ballots, unfolded ballots, as evidence of duplicates. Officials from the Georgia Secretary of State's office provide several administrative explanations. Ballot duplication process. When a ballot is damaged or submitted by military overseas voters via email, election workers must duplicate it into a machine readable ballot to be scanned. These legitimate copies appear pristine because they were never folded for an envelope. Rescanning errors. Some ballots were initially rejected due to technical issues like identical tabulator numbers and had to be rescanned. Officials noted this was done in the presence of bipartisan monitors. Sorry, Juan. There's no proof there's no proof that it even happened. That if it did, there's no proof that it had any effect on the election. It couldn't have. As of today, unfortunately, Donald Trump. Why do you ask? I hate to say it. I'm ashamed of it, but I do not believe with 100% certainty there were not mischievous handling of ballots on both sides of the aisle. Election results were correct. I agree with you. I mean, you do not believe with 100% certainty. Okay. Yeah, I mean, listen, if there was anything outcome determinative that took place in the 2020 election, Donald Trump would have found out. He's the most powerful, most resourceful man in the world, but he can't find any verified claims or any verified cases of election fraud. Isn't that something? I mean, guys, he'll keep trying so he can keep you stunads believing that he won the 2020 election. You know that he knows he lost it, right? Jack Smith did what, a months-long or years-long investigation? And it says a million times in his report, people in the White House he spoke to, other politicians, they all told him Trump knew he lost the night he lost. He never believed he won. He never believed he won. He just told the public that because he wanted to try to overturn the election. So he got you dummies all riled up to go to the Capitol and get yourselves arrested and indicted and every fucking thing else. Meanwhile, he was laughing at the whole thing on TV while it was happening. He uses you guys because he knows you're maniacs and you'll do anything. You'll die for him. You know, he does. And he's always known that he lost, guys. He knows now that he lost, but he can't deal with that loss. He can't. So even though he knows he lost, he has to convince everyone else that he didn't. So that's what he's trying over and over, and he keeps failing. I know she's a Russian asset. I know she's a shady character. I don't know a hell of a lot about her. He sold them BS, and these fools stuck in that since 6 years. Wake up. He robbed you many times. Yeah. No, you weren't correct. Juan, I just read to you that it wasn't even verified that any of this was done through any nefarious means. If anything, it was just a mistake. And I read to you exactly why it happens. And even if it is true, which has not been confirmed, it's not enough votes to change the outcome of the election. So it just means that Biden lost by a smaller margin or won by a smaller margin. That's it. Looking up 99. You still won't call in, though, and debate me, right? 410-941-9850. That's what I thought. On both sides, that's what you say when you can't admit your side is full of shit. I agree. What is your point? You just hate Trump. Okay, cool, but why obsess over it? LOL. I don't think any leader of any country is good. Well, Christine, let me tell you how YouTube works. Okay. So for 4.5 years, I had a channel. This channel, you're on it. You could look at my playlists. I have true crime shows. I have all kinds of stuff. The channel started out as a channel about the history of the mafia. Okay. I've interviewed Hollywood celebrities, actors from all the mob movies, Goodfellas, A Bronx Tale, Sopranos, Boardwalk Empire, all types of shit. And I talked for 4.5 years about the mafia and mafia movies and things like that. That's what my channel was about. So I talked about it always. And I never had a person say to me, why are you obsessing over the mafia? Because the entire community, and there's a huge community about that on YouTube, and I'm part of it. I am actually the one that started it. Okay. So that's when your channel is about something, that's what you talk about, Christine. Now they'll say liberals, because they think I'm a liberal, talk to you like you're 4 years old. They're condescending. This bitch doesn't understand what a YouTube channel is. Christine, if I've decided to change the route of my channel and make it an anti-Trump channel, what should I talk about? Like changing a transmission, riding bikes, fishing, or should I talk about the guy the whole channel is now about, Donald Trump? I have a life, Christine, where I have a wife and stepkids and a daughter and all that. I don't spend 1 second of my day when I'm not on YouTube thinking about or talking about Donald Trump. This is what I do for a living, Christine. So what you want me to do is not do what the whole channel is about and do something opposite, even though the channel appears to be a channel about politics. I shouldn't talk about politics if Donald Trump is involved, because then I'm talking too much about Donald Trump. You guys are fucking insane. Well, that's Elon Musk's thing. Gronk. It's Grok, fucko. How would she know that? Hey, Grok.
Hi there. I'm Ara.
What? Oh, that's your name. You're not Grok. My bad. I mean, this is Grok, but you're Ara. Am I correct? Why aren't you answering me, woman? All right, let's try this again. Hey, Grok.
Hey, Chris. What's up?
Who might win the 2028 election?
Good question. Let's dig into 2028. Right now, betting markets like Polymarket and Kalshi put JD Vance as the slight favorite, around 24% chance. If you're looking at who actually wins in 2028, he's riding high as VP. Trump loyalty pays off. Here he is in action. On the Dem side, Gavin Newsom's right there, 17 to 21% odds, depending who you ask. California governor's got the polish, but he's got to shake the coastal elite tag. Check him out. Marco Rubio's sneaking up too, 10% or so. Solid senator, maybe the safe Republican pick if Vance stumbles. And don't sleep on AOC. Progressives love her fire, but she's still a long shot at 4 to 5%. Like this vibe? Everything's early. Midterms could flip it. Scandals happen, who knows? But yeah, Vance versus Newsom feels like the smart money bet. You leaning one way?
No, I have a Mexican who happens to be a Trump supporter in my chat who says that Donald Trump is most likely going to win the 2028 election.
Oh, that's spicy. Let's fact check that. Tell your Mexican Trump fan this. Trump's not winning 2028. He can't even run. The 22nd Amendment locks presidents to 2 terms, period. No loopholes, no VP tricks, no methods. Courts would shut it down fast. He's just selling Trump 28 hats for merch money. Look, and yeah, he teases it, but even he admits it's pretty clear he's done. Real talk, markets today, Polymarket, Kalshi.
There you go, guys. So, no, you meant Trump. Oh, you're Puerto Rican? Okay, well, either way, you're confused if you're a Trump supporter. Listen, this is grok. This is Elon Musk's thing, betting on something or trying to give odds on something that we don't know anything about yet. We don't know if somebody will pop out of fucking nowhere. We don't know if Mom Donnie will decide to run. We don't know who's running. So what the fuck does that matter? And JD Vance is not going to win. Believe me, even Fox News, I watched them and I heard them with my own ears. Fox News said JD Vance, he doesn't have the charisma of Trump. He's not going to win. He's not. And one, what grok isn't accounting for and what you're not accounting for is the biggest presidential scandal in history. Donald Trump and the Republicans no longer have the Joe Rogans and the Andrew Schultz and all these enormous influencers helping them. They've turned on Trump and the Republicans because of the Epstein scandal. Plus, they're going to be fucking mollywopped in the midterms. The Republicans, Democrats keep flipping seats, 28 seats since November. So it's going to be Trump will cheat. They'll figure out a way to cheat in the elections in 2026. But if by any chance they're free and fair, there's going to be a blue tsunami like we've never seen in our lives. And then in 2028, after Trump continues fucking up the economy and the entire country, there is no question he's going to, the Republicans are going to lose. I'll tell you why. Look at Trump. Look at the shape Joe Biden was in. And Trump couldn't beat him after his first term. Because people had 4 years of that horse shit. He destroyed the economy and they said enough is enough. Okay. Vote Republicans. No Republican is winning the election in 2028 unless, of course, it is fixed, which it might possibly be. Donald Trump, that's why he's trying to get voter rolls from all over the country. He wants voter information so they could cheat. This is the guy who said that Elon went to Pennsylvania and he's so good with those computers. He knows about those computers. So we won the state of Pennsylvania. If that ain't shady to you, you just ain't paying attention. Okay. They're trying to fix the midterms already. They have been for months. And they will do something to cheat Democrats out of them and the election, I believe. But if they are free and fair, you don't stand a chance for a long time. All I ask is you remember me in 2027 when you hear the outcome. Juan, how could I forget you of all people? You're my favorite Puerto Rican Trump supporter. I gave you a like. Thank you, Juan. Juan always looks out for me, even though we're complete and total polar opposites when it comes to politics. He's a good man. He is. He just breaks my balls on a constant basis. Gas was almost $8 per gallon. Now it's less than $4 in Sacramento, California. That is good economy. Well, Trump had nothing to do with the gas prices. I know you don't believe that. OPEC sets gas prices. Trump does not. Trump got lucky. If Biden was in office, the prices would be the same right now because there was reasons the prices were high under him, and there's reasons the prices have dropped under Trump. And it's not. Thank you, Juan. Thanks for the $5, brother. It's not because of Trump's policies. Because I would ask you. Oh, and Kramer, thank you for that $5, bro. I didn't get to shout you out. Thank you so much. Far be it from me to miss a shout out on a donation. Thank you, Kramer. I appreciate that. If I told you to name me the policy, he didn't open the pipe. Oximus 1, we were. Guys, let me show you. Was the U.S. producing record amounts of oil?
The United States of America officially.
Was the U.S. producing record amounts of oil under the Biden administration? More than any time in American history?
Yes, the U.S. produced record amounts of oil under the Biden administration, consistently breaking previous records. In 2023, production reached 12.9 million barrels per day, and forecasts predict even higher amounts in 2024 and 2025.
There you go. There you go. So now don't get me wrong, though. Some of that is because of contracts that were put in place by Trump and his first administration. I admit that. But bottom line is, just because you're producing a certain amount of oil doesn't mean, that I lost my train of thought. Oh, doesn't mean that prices are going to be high or low. What you guys might not know is that in 2020, when COVID was really hitting us and nobody was driving, when the shutdowns kicked in and all that, Donald Trump made a deal with Saudi Arabia and Russia to stop producing oil because there was no demand. We had too much oil and not enough demand. So a lot of the oil production in the world stopped, okay, or slowed. Then Biden took office, and I don't believe that don't rule out the possibility that Trump knew this is exactly what was going to happen when he made that deal. Biden took office. After a while, all the shutdowns were lifted and stuff. And guess what? Now all these people are driving again, and we don't have enough gas. We don't have enough oil. So that's why prices went up under Biden. That's it. Trump hasn't done anything in his current administration to lower oil prices. It's just the way it goes, guys. It goes up, it goes down. Egg prices were because of bird flu. That's it. They were slaughtering millions of chickens. Once they got that contained, there was more chickens, so the eggs are cheaper. That's it. Grocery prices are up higher than they were under Biden. It's a fact. Utilities are sky high compared to where they were under Biden. That's a fact. Unemployment is the highest it's been since COVID. That's a fact. It's a lot higher than Biden got it down to. Biden created 16.6 million jobs in 4 years. Trump so far has created 180,000 in over 1 year. Okay, just 180,000. Tariffs have raised the cost of pretty much everything. New cars, apartments, rents, mortgages, all cost more. And that's it. I don't know what else to tell you. All right, God. Yeah, Tia is the greatest. Tia is the greatest. The only reason I don't read all her comments is because it would take me a year, but she is super knowledgeable. I won 6,500 at the casino. That's why I was able to send $5 this time. You ain't shit. Juan, you won 6,500 and you said, don't get me wrong, I appreciate the $5, but you better be clowning me. You better be fucking around because I at least want $65. Okay. And that's only fair. How the fuck you going to have a big win and leave your boy hanging? Holy shit. Now I know what you're all about, Juan. All right, guys, I got to get going. I enjoyed this show. Thanks for participating. And whoever's left, please hit the like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace.